Same guy that did Keith.
No.
Okay.
You mean that we hope did Keith?
Oh, did he not reply back?
He still hasn't gotten his costume after now 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not a good sign.
No.
It's really funny because on the dude's Etsy page, it literally says, COVID unaffected all delivery of packages and other such stuff. And he's just like, yeah, sure, it hasn't affected it whatsoever.
Well, I know, because I remember he was talking about it a long time ago, and he showed me. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And then that's why I was wondering when you showed me that. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's the same guy that Keith got to do his.
It's because Keith and I have been planning to do a Viking cosplay for a while now.
Yeah.
And once we finally do that, it's when I finally get to shave my beard off. Because I don't want this beard. Like, I am so tired of having a beard.
What do you look like without a beard?
I look...
Can we have a funeral?
Yeah.
A Viking funeral.
A Viking funeral?
You know what? I've been looking for what we could do for this. And I'm wondering if either for this stream or I can do a separate stream for it, but I want to do some sort of charity. And every time something's donated, I cut off a piece of the beard.
Oh, that would be epic.
Oh
and
my
so
God.
if we want to do that for a session, I'd be more than happy to. And then
golly, but I would.
You know what we should do? KK, here. Can we? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Burn it on a ship. Also, what we should do, if I was there, is I would braid individual pieces, and then you can cut little braids every time.
Oh, well, we'll have to figure that out. We'll have you like, wow, I don't know if I can take that responsibility, Josh. That would be a crowd pleaser, I think. But man,
I think so too.
That's heavy stuff to shave a glorious beard like that.
I'm so excited.
Especially because it would seem as clearly petty by someone who struggles to grow a beard like I do. So, you know.
It's like, how dare you?
I
when was the last time you didn't have a beard? When was the last time you were babyface?
I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to look for the photo when the last time I actually had.
Can you send it? Then we can use it. Everybody can use it as their background again. Let's do it.
No.
I think we need a new background. Right, Evelyn? I think we need a new background. I think that was great. I think that was wonderful.
Thank you for the host, Jay. We got some questions from Roxafarius tonight. He wants to know if the mighty Brim has met his end. Ooh, wow, look at that.
Wow.
No, you got to just save that. I'm going to have you show that again in a second when people can see it.
Wait, I didn't see it. Hang on 1 second.
Has Gimbal turned to the dark side? Very nice. Will Lilith brush her hair?
No.
How does Uthar feel about the events at the Moat House? Will Millie be replying to another bolt shot at her window? These questions and more tonight on Greyhawk Awakening, Season 1, Episode 5.
I think Millie learned her lesson about answering nighttime missives.
Hey, Lord Forth, good to see you, sir. Hope you're enjoying that dice tray. Mystical Unicorn Painting. Hey, Captain Mymorph. Pat66, ever the huge fan of the show. Adam FZ, good to see you, sir. We're just doing our pre-prep right here. We're still waiting for Gimbal to get in. Hopefully he'll be in shortly and I can get all my cams lined up. We got a fun show set up for tonight.
Are we short an Uthar again?
We are. So you might have missed that earlier. He's got some crazy stuff going on with work, but he and I talked for a while that he's actually loving the game, loving the show, but he's got some crazy stuff that are happening right now at work, including some employee changes and whatnot. So I'm going to get him all caught up. He'll be back with us next week. But we shall fly Utharless one more night. And I told Josh and Vivi, what does it matter? He's unconscious anyway.
Stable. Thank you.
Stably unconscious. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you're liking the dice tray, Lord Ford.
I love this music. It's so good.
Yeah, I know. This really turned out well.
Well, you said that was custom, right? Like custom music?
Yeah, it is. I got it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I got it through a guy on Fiverr.
Yeah.
I forget, he was in Bangladesh or I think it was in Bangladesh. I might have that wrong. And he was so good to work with. I'll share his information with anybody that's interested. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Great. Yeah.
He did exactly what I wanted. Hey, Sperry14, good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us on our Discord this week as well. And we have a Rory that's joining. Oh, Rory is never late. He arrives precisely when he means
When
to.
he means to.
And then he drops back out on cue.
And he's like, never mind. He's not ready yet. He's not ready yet.
He's not ready.
He wasn't ready. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, see, I thought it was really funny because when you said that Rory is coming in shortly, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Gimbal always comes in shortly.
Oh, that's even better. That's so much better than what I did, Josh.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
For my dog.
Josh has big skills with the dad jokes.
He does. Honorary dad.
Just wait. Once I lose the beard, it'll all go away.
Then you'll
I'll
be.
lose all the
Aww.
No, that's your
power.
That is your superpower. It will persist. Okay, so, and yes, even though I killed and stopped my video, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disconnect this host. I'm gonna switch us to our emergencies cam so everybody can see our amazing players. So you're up and visible now, and then I'm gonna just do one more cam adjustment. You'll see one of these things drop off and pop back on. Wait, actually, hold on. It might be, I've done this before too. If you don't close that zoom window, that throws off all your cams, and boom, we are golden. Yeah, that was all the issue was before I went and screwed everything up. So welcome everyone to session number 5 of Greyhawk Awakening, season 1 of the exciting Greyhawk campaign, joined by our fabulous players here tonight. And we are really excited about the session that we have in store for you. Now, Josh, I need you to move a bit to your left, kind of cover more of that skull. No, that would be your right. So you're not a left-right guy, are you?
I'm out.
You were out last
perfect.
session,
There you go.
when you fell off your chair.
That looks fantastic. All right, and so you're working as well, Stolock, Phantom NJ, good to see you, Kigia. All right, and it is going to be a good night. MTMJ, thank you for joining us. Bloodwild, all the friends and good folks here joining us on Blue Box. All right, so we're going to get right into tonight's session. We've got a lot in store for us, and of course we had a fantastic week last week. I just want to give a couple shout outs as always to our amazing sponsors. So if you were watching during the pre-roll, you would have seen the logo for Dragon Crafting Guild. They make these amazing trays. Dragon Crafting Guild, every player's best friend in the hands of a DM, every player's worst enemy. Dragon Crafting Guild dice trays, guaranteed to roll you more d20s. I should patent that. He's never even given me any credit for that. But yeah.
And you do it. You execute it so well.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, baby. Then also, let me actually switch my camera spot over here just a bit. Then also, big shout out to Frederica Draws. And of course, she is the lady of the hour this evening. Frederica does all of our art. So as you're looking at the screen, you see Uthar, who's missing tonight. That portrait is his. But also everything that's scrolling in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen there, all the different character portraits, even the DM character portrait, all of this is done by the amazing Frederica Draws. Follow her on Instagram, and as I mentioned, if you're on our IG account or if you're on our Discord, we're actually going to give the opportunity for someone to win a custom PC illustration, full color. And she's amazing. If we hit 60 viewers tonight, which I think we got a good shot to. We did it last week. We've been growing every week. We're so thankful to all of our fans. Make sure you're letting other people know. As long as we get somewhere around that 60 number tonight, we're going to give away a free character drawing from Frederica, and it's incredible. I'll work with you. We'll get all the instructions, what you want the character to look like, clothing, gear, equipment, all of it, and she customizes everything. It's unbelievable. So a thank you to both of our main sponsors, and we're working on some additionals. She does do paid projects. So absolutely, Moondog, if you want to message me, I can put you in direct contact. But if you go to Frederica Draws, and in fact, here I'm going to go back to my starting.
I just shared her command that
there
takes
you
to
go.
her link tree.
Much better than what I was going to do.
That will take you to her commissions. So
yeah.
Just click that link that is in chat right now, and you can check out her commissions.
Yeah, and just let her know Blue Box sent you. There's no she helps us with drawings. Basically, we pay for most everything, but she gives us a little bit every month in terms of her sponsorship. You know, because that art artist's time is quite valuable. But just let her know that we sent you, just so she understands the value that she's getting here from Blue Box, because we think she's fantastic and we want her to think that we're fantastic too. And so if we hit that goal tonight, we'll be doing a drawing a little bit later in the stream to give away a free custom character drawing from Frederica Draws. Okay. Let's go straight to what happened last time, and then we'll do character introductions, and we'll get right into the session today. So, who wants to tell us what happened last time?
Should I do it?
Yeah, so I think, why don't you get us started, and we'll let others jump in. I don't know if you haven't seen it, by the way. I need to thank, all of my players are amazing, but I have two true lore masters here in the campaign. One, Evelyn, if you see it, she puts everything in a log, every session. It's actually daunting as a DM to have everything you do recorded in that way. But then Rory, he brings the analytics to it. So you haven't seen the spreadsheet? He has a spreadsheet. They haven't seen it, right? You haven't posted it anywhere yet? Yeah.
Only you've seen it.
Yeah, only that's it. He has a spreadsheet. It tracks every freaking thing. How many minutes we spent role-playing. How many minutes we spent in combat. How many times a die has been rolled by Lilith. How many hit points of damage Brim has done. How many spells were cast. It's the most granular, blow-your-mind metrics that he's tracking in these spreadsheets.
Can I ask you really quick, is there how many glasses of milk that Brim...
I bet he knows. Four. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It's in the spreadsheet. I promise you, it's in the spreadsheet. Hey, so that's a nice segue for me before we go into what happened last time. If you're not in, I'm going there too, Josh. Just wait. But I want to make sure also everybody that isn't in our Discord, if we haven't popped it in there. Hello, Anna B. Meyer. Good to see you.
I did a couple minutes ago, but I'll share it again.
Yeah, drop it one more time.
We've had some people join since, so.
Yeah, in our Discord, we have all of the content. There's chat with the players. There's opportunity to role play with the players in certain channels, depending on where we're at in the game. All the announcements, some custom content. You get things early in that Discord. So if you join it, it's just a really good way to stay connected with Blue Box and with the GHA campaign during the week. So make sure you check that out. That is in the creds below. All right, we're going to do you in a second, Josh, but what happened last time?
Okay, so last time we started out, we actually were continuing the fight we had previously started. Millie was running down a wall towards a giant break in the wall, and Uthar and Lilith were having a couple of guards actually charging towards them. Brim had run to tackle a guy, and he ran away screaming because he was a coward, and Brim is terrifying. So Brim leapt up onto the wall and engaged with the guy that had the bowman that had come up out there. Millie made a crazy jump across that broken wall, and Brim helped her up, and they fought that guy, managed to kill him pretty quickly, and then Brim jumped back down and continued on his merry way. He spotted a guy poking his head out of the palisade or the keep in the moat house and thought that was kind of odd. Lilith killed a guy with a rather painful shot to his bits, and
what we finally referred to on the show as the privies, and then she earned a moniker, which I forget who said this. Somebody gave her the
chat.
Who was it?
Chat named her the Nutcracker.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Lilith is now known as the Nutcracker, and not only did she like it so much, she's actually tried to do called shots on everyone else that she's met since that time. That's crazy.
But yes, Lilith actually ended up finishing off both of those guys there because Uthar couldn't seem to make a connect on any of his attacks on either of those fellows. And then Gimbal he was dealing with the two guards in front of the moat house. He color sprayed them, then pulled their hands out, set them on fire using burning hands, in the apparent only use of that our DM has ever experienced in the time of DMing. And then, went to kind of deal with them. Millie joined him. He asked her not to kill them, to her great chagrin. And she agreed only because he asked her to not do that. One of those two very burned fellows ran off screaming, and the other one was knocked out by the pommel of a dagger and dragged back into the moat house courtyard. Then Brim, knowing that the guy had poked his head out of the keep, charged toward the keep door, kicked it in, and Lilith and Uthar followed him in with Gimbal and Millie trying to decide what to do about this unconscious guy. Millie suggested letting him sleep it off. Gimbal wasn't quite sure about that, but agreed that as long as she didn't kill him, it was fine. And then they heard the giant explosion of Brim breaking the door down, and Millie picked Gimbal up on her back and ran him across the yard to join the rest inside. Once we went inside, there were 2 guards on either side of the room and a single leader-style guy behind a desk holding a crossbow that was pointed directly at whoever came first through the door, which happened to be Brim. Luckily for Brim, he missed and it stuck right into the wall. And then Brim engaged with the guard to his left, and finished him off quite quickly with a maul to the head, splattering his brains across the room. And Lilith getting a little splattered because she was in the splash zone. Brim actually continued that attack around to the other guard who had moved in to engage him, and crushed his head against the column.
It was that gory too. It really was.
Yeah.
Like that's there were brains and blood everywhere. Lilith totally in the splash zone. It was nasty.
Once Millie had gotten inside of the keep, she sat Gimbal down on the floor and jumped up on the desk to engage the guy with the crossbow that Uthar was currently engaging. Let's see. Oh, Ashwin gave Brim a heal, not on his buttocks, which we learned, which caused quite a bit of giggle fit last week, and a bit of a spit take. And then, let's see. Oh yes, the bowman or the crossbowman, the leader guy, slashed Millie's pants, which she was very upset about, and she stabbed him, but he was actually killed by, I think it was Lilith, actually.
Yeah, it was. Lilith was devastating in combat that session. She was, thank you very much, Camel. She was dropping like max damage on that staff every time she hit. I think she was really inspired by the shot to the you-know-whats.
And then everyone sort of started searching about. Gimbal had snuck out back into the courtyard with the guy that had been unconscious during that combat, and Brim kind of noticed that he was gone, so he went back out to kind of see where Gimbal was. Lilith actually rolled an excellent perception check and discovered the secret door in the room that was within the stone piece that had been part of the original moat house. And then Millie, in her Millie fashion, was searching the body of the leader guy while everybody else was looking at where to find the 2 women that were missing. Uthar was being rather rash and decided to open the door without checking for traps, and just kind of ran right down the stairs. Not waiting very long. Lilith did find, before we continue down, she did find a letter that explained kind of what had been going on there and the types of people that were working together that were in this fortress, and it included orcs as well as the humans that we had seen on the outside.
So that letter is on the screen for any of our viewers to see.
Yes.
And yes, and I think just as a remembrance and aside, one of the reasons that Uthar was so just dead set on charging in, and we do need to get going here because we're already 12 minutes in, but he went because of course you have the wife and daughter of the merchant who have been trapped and kidnapped, and Uthar is in absolute panic to get to them quickly, rush down the stairs, screaming out their names. Go ahead and continue.
Brim and Gimbal found out that they were actually being captured somewhere inside the fort from the guy outside, and found out that the woman had been being mistreated, much to Brim's rage. which sent Brim running back into the palisade and down the stairs first, while Gimbal finished tying that guy up very well, and then Gimbal followed. Once we reached the room where the cage was that held the two women, we reunited with the mage, along with another one of the Red Lord's guards and the orc. Combat ensued. The guard was killed first. Lilith tried to entangle the mage. Millie did manage to interrupt his first spell by throwing her dagger and hitting him in the shoulder. And then Brim charged the mage later on because he was not happy about that guy. And then Millie with a natural 20, a natural 19, and 100% on the dice, did 110 crit on the orc and killed him quite dramatically.
Epic reminds us a bit of Azimir in our 4th Age campaign. You know, one of those 1 in 4,000 type rolls that you get, just absolutely insane, for which she received a minor fate chip. Minor fate chips can be used to change fate here on Blue Box. You know, minor, it's not going to be anything crazy, but it is a pretty powerful thing to have, and it can be gained either by role play or by incredible feats, including what she had last week. So,
awesome.
Hey, thank you for the follow, Stellian. So, at the conclusion of the session, let's go to, and again, as always, bravo, Evelyn. You are so fantastic. But let's go to either Brim or Gimbal, who were right there in combat with the mage, there for the last few seconds of our combat before we get started tonight. Go ahead, Gimbal.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Brim.
Brim, so just recounting what happened in that last instance. Brim, locked in his ogre rage, charged across the room towards this mage, not even noticing that there was some sort of bramble vines on the floor cast by Lilith. He kept pushing through, and even then he failed on that, but he still was within range to reach the mage, and he hit the mage, I want to say twice, with just these nasty maul attacks. And then within the next round, he heard from Gimbal that he needed help and to catapult him, so he threw his maul backward for him to be able to sit on the maul for him to be able to catapult him and throw him at the mage. Well, within that instance, Brim, holding his arm out with the maul attached and losing his concentration on the mage, in that moment, he let fly a nasty volley of magic missiles.
He did indeed.
Which sent Brim to his knees and then to his face as he fell unconscious, ending with Gimbal. Just the kind, laughing, funny facade falls, and the dangerous, bloodthirsty Gimbal appears, jumping onto Brim's back.
The bloodthirsty gnome. Outstanding. All right, so as we begin in just a second, you're still down below in the moat house. I'll bring up the cam so everybody can kind of get a reminder of where we're at. So in the moat house, you have did I leave? Where did I put my laser? I might have to go up and get that in a second. I have it all charged up and ready to go, and I think I left it. But you have Millie standing just over there beside the fallen orc. You have Gimbal sitting atop Brim's back, Brim who is collapsed unconscious. You have the dead guard, Lilith and Ashrin standing to the side. So we have both Uthar and Brim are both unconscious. And yeah, that's a good idea, Pat66. And so now let's go to Monster Monday. Josh, we always love to do this on Tuesdays because you do Monster. You thought I was going to forget, didn't you? So for all of our viewers, you get to guess the monster. Josh, give us Monster Monday.
Okay.
You hear the slinking through the halls, the sharpening of blades echoes off the walls, the cruel laugh and sinister smile, dismembered limbs scattered for miles, well armed with blades from the abyss. A tale to tell, a devastating mistress. You think you're safe far away, till in an instant, I'm in your way. Uncanny reactions in armor and hide, bouncing blade and maul from my side. Good luck, poor souls, any who enter here. A blade storm awaits you, and a death you should fear.
So this was a tougher one, I thought, Josh. And I'll let anybody that wants to guess. I saw a couple guesses. I never actually saw what you confirmed. But in my head, let's see if anybody have a guess on the monster. The chat's quiet. I think this stumped them. So Rafa said my mom.
Yeah, that's actually exactly who I was thinking of.
We have a Naga. I'm thinking something like this, like a Marlith, something along those lines.
Yeah, it was a Mara or a Marilith.
Yeah.
Is what I had in mind for that.
That you got it exactly right. Okay, so I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to find my laser. While I'm doing that, I want you to each go around, introduce your characters, level, class, your race, anything else you'd like us to know about the characters, and then entertain the audience for just like 1 minute while I find that.
Okay, well, I'll go first. Hello, darlings. I'm Millie, and I am a level 2, a half-elven swashbuckler. And I am currently, standing by a decapitated orc, trying to keep everybody alive, particularly Uthar, who decided to run into the room.
Hi, I'm Brim. I'm Brimstone. I am a 7.5 foot tall half ogre, fighter level 2, and supposedly built like a tank that goes unconscious often. I am unconscious at the moment.
Who drinks milk? That is correct, Pat.
Also very correct. My character's name is Lilith. She's a Greyhawk, wild elf druid, level 2. Extremely curious by fault. Doesn't care too much for money, but rather odd trinkets. She usually just hands her money off to Millie since she knows how much Millie loves money. If you're around, I'll give it to you. It doesn't really matter what it is. She doesn't care for it. Rory?
My name is Gimbal. I am not 7 foot, but 3'1". I am a gnome, illusionist, and level 2. Currently standing on the back of the tank. However that works out. And I didn't.
Outstanding. Everyone got to go?
Yep.
All right, I have laser in hand. So let me reset the scene again, get the music started, and we begin with session number 5 of Greyhawk Awakening. Bum, 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 bum.
I like that calm music that we had when we first entered the show. Put that stuff.
The calm music is leaving, sorry.
Darn.
All right, so again, you have Lilith standing here, Ashrin standing here. You have Lilith here. You have Millie there. You have the fallen Uthar here, the fallen orc here, the fallen soldier here, and then of course here you have Gimbal standing atop Brim's back. So the mage falls back against the wall. He's still cradling one arm. He utters a curse, an imprecation. He hears the ghost sounds that Gimbal has cast around him, and he seems to instantly know what they are. You see a sneer on his face. Your parlor tricks mean nothing to me, gnomeling. Initiative. Let's go to... I don't remember where we left off, so let's go to Lilith.
I won.
You won? All right, we'll go to you.
I won last time.
All right, roll initiative. D6, DM has a 2.
I have a 5.
Okay, you have it. All right, so let's go with Gimbal first. Gimbal, you're standing right in front of this mage. He's backed against the wall. You see he's already reaching beneath his robes.
And around him are the grasping vines or something.
That's right. Yeah, so they're all still crawling up around. You're sort of protected by the giant chest of Brim that's got you a good, 2 feet off the ground. But they're all tangled up on the ground.
And I can't reach him from where I'm at, correct? He's too far away.
I mean, yeah, not with your little, stubby arms. I mean, you could throw something at him, but he's about 6-8 feet away from you.
Okay. Man, I don't have it. Does it look like he's reaching for something under his robe?
It does.
Okay, I will make as far of a leap as I can to try to get as close as I can to him.
Okay, Gimbal.
When I enter the vines, am I able to still move? It's just
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a reflex save, right? So you leap, but first let's go ahead and have you make an acrobatics check. So roll d20 and add your acrobatics for that. So Gimbal leaps off the back of Brim. Ah! Little.
No!
Are you recording a 1?
Okay, that just wasn't a great expression. I was like, oh.
Is the first player roll of a night really a 1?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not a 1, but not good.
Might as well be. Oh, no.
A total of 6.
A total of 6. All right, as you push off both the sweat and blood on Brim's back, your feet kind of slip out from underneath you. You go face first into the vines. They crawl up around you. That is the end of your round. TPK, here we come. No, I don't think so, but anything's possible. I don't know, it could. All right, let's go to Millie.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to get close to where the vines are because I saw Lilith cast it, so I know where they are.
Right.
I want to get close to them, but I don't want to step into them.
All
and
right.
I'm going to turn to Lilith and I'm going to say, "Darling, could you dispel this, please, so I can get through?"
All right, so you see her advanced, and Lilith, now you are standing there. You see that Millie is standing just in front of the vines.
Would I be able to dispel and then still attack, or no? Or is that just...
No, yeah, so you can so you can let the spell go. You're not actually dispelling, you're just letting your own spell stop.
Okay,
That's an instantaneous action.
Yeah, okay, so Lilith will look over to Millie and she'll nod because she knows how dangerous she is up close, so she'll spell her vines, and she'll attack with her sling.
All right, so Millie, you see, as soon as you say this with a nod, immediately all the vines dissipate. They fall into the stone of the ground. And Lily, what are you attacking with? Your sling?
My sling, yeah.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
Glad I'm ducking.
8.
I'm not sure being face first on the ground is the same as ducking, Gimbal, but 8. Your stone, it hits off the side of the wall. All right, the mage, as he steps back.
Can Ashrin do anything?
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you for the reminder. I'm so bad about NPCs like that. I really am. All right. Ashrin actually, she runs forward to Uthar, who's on the ground, and you see she starts tending to his wounds. She pulls out bandages and starts bandaging Uthar's wounds. The mage, as he falls back against the wall, "You have made a great mistake this day. I shall give you something to remember me by." As he throws out from his robe, you see something small scatters to the ground, bounces, hits on top of the table, and then blossoms into a giant serpent.
Oh, great.
You suddenly see this viper that sits atop the table. Even as he does so, with his other hand, he throws something to the ground, and there is a giant sort of whooshing sound, and he vanishes.
I swear.
Initiative.
All right.
3 on the DM.
6 on me.
Okay, all right, you are rolling hot. All right, so you're there. The viper is standing is atop the table right next to you. It's a good 4 feet tall, black serpentine body, scales shining. You see fangs dripping with venom as this massive viperish head pivots.
Am I within melee of this thing?
Absolutely, yeah. You're standing
right.
3 feet from it.
Then I'm going to attack it.
Okay, roll to hit.
Ooh, that's an 18 plus 7. That's a 20.
That is a hit.
Yeah, 25.
Okay, roll damage.
All right. What am I? Rapier is okay. Awesome. that's a 7 points of damage.
Very nice, very nice. All right, so you swing forward. Your blade easily parts the scales of the creature. You open a broad gash right against its body. The head pivots directly toward you. You see the serpentine tongue lash out. The fangs, as I said, dripping with venom. They are now trained directly on you. We go to Lilith.
Does the snake look aggressive?
Did you? I'm sorry. I'm saving that clip. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Boom. That's memorialized. Yes, the snake looks aggressive, Lilith.
Fine. I'm pretty close to it. Yeah. How far away am I? She doesn't want to hurt it. She doesn't have to.
No, I got you. I just thought maybe the dripping venom from the fangs, the hissing. You know,
maybe it's a nice snake.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll go attack it with my staff.
All right, you step forward. It's just a couple of feet away. You swing your staff up toward the creature atop the desk. Go ahead.
It's a 7.
The viperish head just easily pulls out of the way. But its eyes are still trained on Millie. Let's go to Gimbal.
Darn.
Gimbal is going to stand up.
Okay, that's a good first step. The vines have disappeared.
So, the question in 3.5, does it take any action movement to stand up?
Yeah, it can depend. So tell me what you want to do, and I'll sort of help you understand what you can do. So, you know, it's not like you can run 30 feet after doing that, but I'm not going to say it takes a full round. If you have a spell you want to cast, you can stand up and cast a spell or throw something. You just can't move a full round and have full action.
Is there anything I can do for Brim to stabilize or bring him to conscious? I don't have any kind of healing, anything.
So, Brim, you're role-playing that very well. Congratulations. So, do you have any sort of healing kits? Understand, first of all, this is not 5e. There are no stabilization rolls that need to be made each time. It depends on the type of damage that's been taken. This is a perfect example. Brim did not take a blade to the neck. Now he's bleeding out. He took magic missiles to the chest. Those cauterized, it's instantaneous magic damage. There's nothing to stabilize. He's just unconscious. So you don't have to save him from, death saves. We don't play that way. But if you have something that can give him, a couple of hit points, you could get him conscious again.
Okay. I do not, so I would like to move on the opposite side of the table as far as possible, keeping some distance from the table on the opposite side as Lilith.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to say you can get about there. That's about 20 feet there.
Okay.
So you're up against, I don't know if you can see that where you're at, you're up against the wall right here.
Perfect.
And yeah, the wizard, he's a slippery one for sure. But I think you guys already knew that. It's interesting to see what he's got going on his sleeve, up his sleeve rather. All right, so as oh no.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Check the sleeve for a reason.
All right, the snake, as it pivots toward Millie, it lashes out. And
Opportune parry and riposte.
okay, good. I need to know what you roll because all right, that's pretty good. What's your roll?
And that's the D20, right?
Right. You like you're making
11.
Yeah, okay. So, take your panache point away. As it comes forward, you bring your rapier up just in time. It actually strikes the snake in the fang. You knock the head just slightly off target. It goes right past your own head. You hear the hiss. You feel venom splatter on your cheek, but it does not hit. Initiative.
All right.
4 for the DM.
My luck has run out. This is 3.
All right, it strikes at you again.
Opportune parry and riposte.
Okay, mark off another panache point and tell me your roll.
That's the natural 20.
Okay. So based on a nat 20 on that, I'm going to give you an extra attack. So go ahead. You're going to attack first. You're going to get 2 attacks this round.
Okay. So my first attack is a 14 plus 7 is 21. And then my second attack is a 13.
First attack is a hit.
Right.
You strike the creature, you hit the body about probably a foot down from the head. As you do so, it recoils back. Your second swing misses. Give me the damage.
6 points of damage.
6? Mm-hmm. All right, you strike it again. There's blood dripping down now on the desk.
Can I like kind of glance around on the ground and see if I spot my dagger anywhere nearby? Because I know he threw it somewhere around here. The wizard did when he pulled it out.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be. If you want to do that, you need to tell me at the beginning of a round, and we're going to take a decrement on your to hit roll, because it's going to be distracting for you to kind of scan the ground, because it's behind you. If you look at where you're standing, you know your dagger. So let me show you. You know your dagger is over here somewhere where you threw it. Right, and you're here with your head towards. Gosh, that camera's getting in my way. Sorry. You're here with your head toward the snake. So your dagger is on the ground back here somewhere. If you want to do that next round, you can. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we go to Lilith.
She'll try to attack with her staff, I guess. Again, one more time.
All right. Go ahead and roll the hit.
Ooh, 17.
Yeah.
That is a hit.
Finally, got rid of all this low. And a 4 for the damage.
4 points of damage. Well, again, Lilith, you are the finisher in this game. Lilith brings her club around the snake, bleeding, the viper's blood dripping on the desk as its head comes around, ready to strike again at Millie for a final time. You bring your staff up. Boom! You connect right on the underside of its jaw. You feel a crunch. And the snake falls to the ground, twitches, and then stops moving.
Good.
Lilith will run over and kind of pick up the head of the snake and just take one of the fangs.
All right. So you see this. Millie, you see Lilith runs over. She begins pulling a fang out of the viper. What are you doing?
I'm going to find my dagger because I really want my dagger back.
I see Brim. All right, so you run over. You do find your dagger laying on the ground, unmolested, in perfect condition. You hear,
wipe it off.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Help us, please. You hear the voices from the cages. Help us, please. My daughter, I think something's wrong with her.
Uh-oh.
Gimbal is probably too short to reach the lock anyway, so things that are close to the ground would be the bodies, if you could search a body or two.
Sure, which one? Okay, well, hold on. We'll get you in a minute. All right, Gimbal, what would you like to search first?
The one closest to him, so the towards the door.
Oh, okay, the guard?
Yeah, the guard by the door.
All right. You shuffle and you begin searching the guard body. Go ahead, Millie.
I have this potion that I found on the leader last week. Gimbal, perhaps you can tell me what this potion might do, since I know many magical practitioners are also knowledgeable in the alchemical.
If Lilith sees Brim laying on the ground, she'll go over there and cast Virtue on him. This is
the best sort of pity move I've ever seen by a role player. Just just sitting there with your mouth like it's a constant reminder, unobtrusive. You're not interrupting role play.
Hang tight. Are you laying on your face?
Yes, he's face down.
Okay, so Lilith will go over to Brim, laying face down, and she will rest her hands on his bum and cast Virtue.
Okay.
I would just like to note.
Apparently inspired by last
week.
Like
some boulders. Just like.
Well, then it's 2 hands on one cheek.
Okay. Apparently inspired by last week, she casts Virtue, and you feel healing Virtue. That gives him how much, Lilith?
1.
1 hit point. Does that bring you back to 1, Brim?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what I had on my notes. Yeah. All right, Lilith, as you do this, you hear.
All right.
Are you okay, Brim?
He staggers to his feet.
I'm gonna go over to the wall for a second.
Am I in the splash zone again? Can you please say no?
No, he said he went to the wall. You're safe.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, he's against the wall now. You hear him retching against the wall, and yeah, Phantom. I don't know if we want to give him that name, but okay, I got you there.
Sorry, I was hoping the other wall, not close to the cage.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Always the gentleman.
He's not going to put the ladies in the splash zone
much better
either.
choice. All right, you hurl against the wall, retching violently, a brush with death. All right, Millie, what are you doing?
I was asking Gimbal if he was able to recognize what this potion is. What do you think? Can you recognize? I can ask Ashrin too. She might know.
Gimbal will kind of, as he's checking pockets. Yeah, I can. Yep, I'll take a look.
All right. So I hand it to him so he can take a look at it.
And what am I doing?
Go ahead. So you're gonna roll. Give me your. I'm gonna roll this for you because you never know when you might actually misidentify a potion either. Right? So.
There we go.
Give me your knowledge alchemy.
Let's see. Knowledge.
Thank you for the follow, woo man. Life of Thorn also, I didn't mention you earlier, but thank you.
There isn't a knowledge alchemy.
Arcana.
Oh yeah, Arcana, right.
+8.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so you're pretty certain as you look at this, you've seen this kind of concoction before. It looks like it is an elixir of moderate healing.
All
Let's see. If I look at the and he'll just kind of I think that this will probably heal someone.
All right. Well, thank you. I think one of our friends here.
You hear Ashrin, bring it here! Uthar is in deep need of it. We can wait no longer. Give it to him.
Oh, all right. And I hand the potion to Ashrin.
You see, almost like you're just continuing to get this sense of an over infatuation that Ashrin has with Uthar.
Yeah.
She snatches the potion from your hand and she begins to administer it to him.
Calm down. And I'm just gonna walk over to the cage and I'm gonna pull out my lockpick set and work on the lock.
All right, go ahead and give me a disable device roll, please.
And can Gimbal finish searching the body?
He can. So Gimbal on the guard. Yes. Hang on one second. I'll get your roll in just a second, Millie. Sorry. On the guard, you find a common longsword.
Natural 20. Natural 20.
I mean, I don't know what to do with that. The lock dissolves under your fingertips. I'm not sure exactly what it's. Okay. It's simple. It's crude. It falls to the ground. Oh, thank you, thank you. The door is immediately pushed open, and again, you see there are two women inside the cage. One, a mature woman with red hair, streaks of gray going through it. The other, what looks like her daughter, a blonde-haired girl of perhaps 9 or 10 winters, lies on the ground completely non-responsive. Now, obviously, the more important things. Gimbal, on the body, you find there were 2 pieces of gold. There were 6 pieces of silver. He has a pouch which includes 22 pieces of copper. And then he's got a sort of a standard long sword, studded leather mail, and a shield. Good pair of boots, all the sort of normal stuff you would think of, but that's the most noteworthy stuff.
Okay, he'll just take the coin. Nothing else there is useful. Or he can't use a. Yeah, no, that's a longsword.
That's right.
So he'll just take the coin in the pouch.
Okay, all right. You pull those off. Brim, you turn away from the wall after you finish retching. Your boots are splattered. You see Gimbal hovered over one of the guards. You see what's happening with Millie as she opens up the cage lock.
I would like to move forward, and if my hood isn't in complete disarray, I would like to try and throw my hood up when I come forward.
We need to get her to the table. Please, come out of the cell.
She didn't notice you at first, so by the time you walk over, she peers curiously, but clearly she saw the combat, so she already knows what you are. She says, I trust you. I'm sorry you've had to hide yourself, but yes, please help my daughter. Here, she.
Oh, bad time. Come on.
She picks up the body of her daughter, and she staggers over to the desk and places her on top of the desk.
I'd like to feel her forehead and then try and feel her pulse.
All right. So, yeah, forehead hot, clammy, but there's a strong pulse. I mean, she's clearly alive, but she's just non-responsive.
Would I be able to cast Stabilize on her?
Sure you can.
I'll go over to the table and lean over and kind of squeeze in by Brim and just kind of lay my hands on her and cast Stabilize.
All right. So you move up to the table, you lay your hands on her, and as you do so, you feel her pulse. It's thready beneath your touch, but as you cast your spell, you see this also, Brim. Her breathing steadies. It's clear that she's not physically in danger, but this is something more, not a term you would know, but psychological. Something has happened to her that she is just shut down.
How are things going over there for you guys?
She seems stable, but there's something else wrong.
Perhaps we not stay in here. Not such a pleasant place.
While all of this is going on, Millie kind of slipped over to the orc and started searching his body while they're doing things, because she knows she can't help with this. She did what she needed to do.
All right, fair enough. So as you're doing that, I want to make sure also, this may be something that was missed. So if you can look at your screens, inside the room, there is, in addition to, let me flip this over because that bright white is just annoying the snot out of me. As you look around the room, you see that there is, hold on, I need to move Brim. You see there is actually a couple of interesting features in the room. One, you see a collapsed wall here. It's clear that whatever is beneath this moat house is much larger than what you're seeing, but many areas of the structure have collapsed in on themselves, huge chunks of rubble piled high. But you also see a chest that sits in this corner right there. You can barely see it on the cam. In fact, I'll turn the cam just a bit so you can see it better. There's a chest sitting in the corner, which Millie would have noticed, so I'll let you choose what you're doing first.
I'm going to do the orc first, and then I'll head for the chest.
Okay. All right, Millie, as you search the orc, you find he's got a wicked-looking scimitar, a good-sized scimitar blade. He has a buckler shield. He has a ragged assortment of chain and plate and banded mail that looks like it's cobbled together. You see he has no gold on his pouch. He does have 2 chains crisscrossed on his chest.
Seeing this, I'm going to get everyone's attention and be like, hello, over here, very important detail. Look, he's got the chests like Halia did, right there on him. They're crossed. It must be connected somehow, I would imagine.
Is there anything else on his person when you searched it?
Not anything that I can really tell. I found there was normal weapon, armor stuff. It doesn't have any gold. Very unfortunate. But this is clearly not just a fashion statement. It seems to be connected to that. So probably very important.
Uthar comes walking over. What is wrong with that girl? He's clearly been revived now. He's consumed the potion that was given. Ashrin gave it to him. He walks over to the girl on the table. He casts an eye around. I am sorry. I failed again. I vow I shall do better next time. I will not continue to lie on the ground as my comrade in arms defend me and those I seek to save.
Gimbal, as he's on his podium of his speech, Gimbal will walk in his direction. Uthar, remember the comment about your code of honor and guillotines chopping off heads?
He arches
Perhaps next time you wait.
I told him that, but he was too gung-ho.
Yes. When things are fine and dandy, we just keep going with them.
I'm not sure, Zarathanan, we want to go that far with it. Hagar, he kind of arches a brow. Uthar looks at you. I shall this time accept your remonstrations, gnome. I deserve them.
Yeah, I mean, you're really good at what you do, and I know you really, really care about people, but you can see where it got you.
It is simply a failing of my execution, not my intent. Heronius will aid my blade this next time. Now, let me see this girl. He pushes past you toward the girl, and he begins to pray over her on the table. You see the woman, which you assume to be Kristen, the same one named by the merchant. She watches intently and somewhat nervously as this is going on.
If Uthar and I'm assuming Ashrin would be with the girl as well?
Yes.
Yeah, Ashrin has come over as well.
It seems like she follows him around like a lost dog.
Yes, Ashrin has come over as well.
Lilith will go over by the crumbled bits of the wall and look at that. If they seem to have it handled over there.
All right, as you walk over, you look at the wall. Much as I described, you see giant boulders and bits of debris. Some look like hewn and formed stone. Some look like raw rock packed high toward the ceiling. Clearly, there is more to this structure underground, as I said, but massive portions of it have caved in, and the Red Lords were using just these available sections of the abandoned moat house. You don't notice anything unusual beyond this by the rocks. All right, what's everyone else doing?
I'm going to head towards the chest now.
Okay.
And I'm going to check it for traps.
All right, and I have your perception. As you look at it, you don't notice any traps on it. It is interesting, though, as you do look at it, you see... Thank you, Elhawk. You see, there is no lock on this chest. It's a smooth wooden chest, and then it has iron, what look like channels that go across the front and the top. One on each side, 2 iron channels.
Seems rather unusual. Everyone, has anyone seen a chest like this before?
Lilith will come over beside Millie and look very curiously at it.
Yeah, so you see the same thing. So it's, as I said, a wooden chest, and these channels are brass, essentially. There are divots that go across the front and the top of the chest that are coated with brass, one on each side.
Gimbo will grab the stool that's next to him by the table and pick it up, kind of like it's a shield, because it's little and he's little.
Okay. All right.
And walk over cautiously to the chest also.
All right, you see Gimbal coming over wielding a stool as a shield, apparently inspired by Brim, to make use of such implements.
What do you think, Gimbal?
Am I able to tell if there's... I mean, we might be making more of this than it really is. It might just be some decorative. But, and is he able to see if there's anything arcanic about it? Would he recognize this from what he does?
So, Remind me of your intelligence.
It is amazing.
25.
Intelligence is 17 plus 3.
Like,
So no, you do. I mean, there is a sense of some arcane element to this chest that you're looking at, and you can't put your finger on it, but these channels which cover the front and the top clearly have something to do with how it's opened.
I don't know, really. I mean, you can try it. Did you try to open it?
Well, see, here's the thing. A chest that doesn't have a lock makes me concerned. Because anybody who has a chest usually puts a lock on it. And when they're not locked, I get a little nervous.
Everybody roll d20 for me, please.
Natural 19?
10.
Okay. 10. Okay. 1. All right. You're 1. 16. Brim starts drooling on himself. No, I'm just kidding. As you're looking at the chest, there's something tickling in the back of your mind, Millie. There's something.
Is it something I could possibly know from, like, my studies? Because
no, it feels. No, I'm giving you. This is a DM hint because of your role and because of your intelligence. By the way, already with the viewer level that we have hit, we're going to be giving away a Frederica Draws illustration later on the night tonight. Thank you so much to all of our followers. By the way, here on Blue Box, we have a saying: if you're watching right now and you haven't given us a follow or a sub, we have one question for you. What are you doing? Give us a follow, please. We would appreciate it. Hey, thank you very much, Jager O'Larson. So we're going to be giving that away coming up later in the stream. We'll open up the giveaway here right after the break. All right, so.
Lilith will stand curiously beside Millie. She'll almost like step back a little bit and grab her wrist, and she'll just kind of look at her and just say, "Panther."
I'm going to trust you on this one. If it gives you discomfort, I think we'll just leave this one be.
And Millie, there might be gold in it.
Panther!
Could be, but there's also a lot of dead gods that I can search for their money, so I think I'll just do that. This makes me a little uncomfortable.
How big is it?
It's a good sized. It's about this big, and it looks fairly ornate. I mean. Yeah, it's a nice chest. This is not your just common, as I said, you sense something arcane about it. This is not your common sort of average chest. Brim, you've been quiet for a minute. What are you doing as you're watching all this? So you see Uthar continues to pray. Ashrin is over there ministering. The little girl seems to be coming to. The mother seems to be calmed down as this is going on. What are you doing?
I actually haven't been paying attention to the chest at all. I've been looking over the girl for any injuries. And then I looked towards the mother and started talking with her.
All right, so as you look at the girl, you don't see any obvious injuries. The mother, she looks over at you. Clearly, she knows you're a friend, but she nonetheless shies away just at your girth and size and intimidating visage. And she says, I don't think any... she's fine, but what we saw, there was another with us in the cage. And she saw what they did, and she's not spoken since.
Who was the other one that was with you? And where did they take her?
We don't know. We didn't know her. She was here already when we arrived. And when they had finished, they dragged her body upstairs. And my daughter, I tried to shield her, but she's not spoken since.
If I'm within earshot, I'll come over with Brim as well.
What, if you can tell me, what did they do to her?
She looks at you. She starts breaking down, crying. She can't speak at this moment. I'm sorry. I can't say it.
Hey, Christian. It's okay. Remember, you have a husband on the outside that cares for you deeply.
You seen Gareth?
And he's not going to touch her. He's going to kneel down.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. I've seen him. He sent us here. He cares about you a lot.
She reaches out. She puts a diminutive hand on your broad shoulder. She says, "Is he safe? Where is he? Can you take me to him?"
He's in the town, and we'll take you to him when we can. We need to make sure your daughter is safe first.
Yes, I saw the... If this helps, she looks over. I saw the orc. He placed something in the chest this morning. He seemed very occupied with it. And she runs over. She just scoops her daughter up to her chest and starts cradling her.
At mention of the chest, Millie turns her head. He put something in the chest, did he? Did you see how he opened it? Perhaps.
He was one of the... He was the worst of them all. What he did, I couldn't look at him, but I heard a rattling sound.
Rattling sound.
Another snake is possibly in there.
Yes.
No, like metal on metal, like armor or chains or...
Chains?
Oh.
Like the ones he's wearing? Perhaps.
I walk over and pick up the orc.
All right, Brim, you walk over, you heave up his body. Again, you're filled, even though you're weak, physically, from the damage you've taken, there's adrenaline coursing through your body. Everybody can see it on your face. You heft this orc. He's a good-sized creature.
Before that, I'd like to look back. Is the mother looking?
No, she's cradling her daughter over the table. She's not looking at all.
Cool. As I walk over, I'd like to drop kick into his skull. It's like a curved stomp right into the neck to try and just splatter the head.
Okay, all right.
Well, the head's already separated from his body.
Oh, even better.
Because I decapitated him.
Yeah, he's decapitated, but you've got
Perfect.
So you take his body, and you can, let me see here. So from this angle, let's come back to the cam screen. So you could, Uthar is not even paying attention. Lilith, you see this well. You can definitely see this, Millie. Brim takes the body. Boom! He snaps the spine in two. The orc just severs at the middle. Limp structured. The chains fall off of his body. One of his boots goes flying over by where Lilith is looking at the stone structure, and he's now just limp and broken.
Millie just kind of gives an impressed look to Brim, like, good job.
Are the chains on the ground, you said now?
Yeah, when he was snapped in two with no head, they just slid off his body.
Emily, we have an informant that we might want to see. I think we should definitely take the chest or open the chest or do something with the chest. I think that's really cool. But we have an informant that maybe we should go talk to.
Yes, I would rather like to get some answers from him as well. I'm not that interested that much. Anyway, I'm not going to think about the chest anymore. I'm just going to go this way, and maybe check some guards along the way out. So, yes, I'll feel a little better about ignoring this right now. Excuse me. And she just kind of walks out of the room.
And so will Gimbal.
All right, anybody else doing anything differently?
Brim?
No, Lilith, please. I'll get to mine.
You can go. I'm not doing anything. I'll stay with you. I wouldn't leave you.
I was, funny enough, going to say that I pick up the chains and hand them to Lilith.
Brim walks over to you. As you see Gimbal and Millie start to walk out, Brim walks over where you're standing in front of the chest, and he hands you these 2 chains. 2 chains. chains?
Yeah.
Very rare anachronisms here. Only when appropriate. Every once in a while. Sorry. All right, go ahead, Lilith.
Are they heavy?
I mean, they're good size chains. You know, they're about this thick, but you can certainly hold them.
You do notice that when he touches them and he picks them up, he like cringes and almost becomes weak for a second, and then hands them off to you.
So you're holding these two chains. You're in front of the chest.
Why are you rolling?
So just as you look at it, I mean, yeah, it's you know, it's pretty obvious to you. These chains actually look about the same width as the channels on the chest.
What do you want me to do with them?
I don't know. I heard that there might be something connecting the two, but I also have plan B.
Which I hold up because I'd like to say I've been dragging the body of the orc.
All right, you still have the limp body of the orc in your hand.
I was thinking I could use his arm to open up the chest and just hold him in front of me.
Okay.
If there was anything.
Okay. Lila's very curious, but trusting Brim. She'll take the chains and put them on the chest.
All right, when you say you put them on the chest, what are you doing with them?
Like this. Well, you said that there's the two things, right?
The channels, yeah.
Can she just like?
All right, so
like
you
the
sort
chain.
of sling the chains over the tops of the channels.
Yeah.
As you do so, the chest illuminates, and you see a warm red glow along the channels. The chains fall to the ground, and the chest lid actually pops open right in front of you. As it comes up, you can see it looks like there's coins and a bag and some other items inside the chest. The chains fall to the ground. All right, let's go to Gimbal and Millie. So the two of you now, you're upstairs. You've gone walking up the stairs. As you come up, you emerge in the room. I'm not going to show it here for sake of time, but you emerge in the room where you had the first encounter. You see still the commander's lying dead where he was slain by the desk. All else is quiet. You can see already through the kicked open door that Brim busted down. The first rays of dawn are beginning to light.
Okay, I'm going to search both of the other guards in here, and then I'm going to follow after Gimbal because we need to deal with this guy that he's got tied up.
All right, and Gimbal, you're headed out to get the guy?
Yeah, I'll stop at the door to take a look out first.
The desk.
And then head out.
Okay. So what are you looking for there?
Looking to see if there's anyone.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
That we
all right, yeah. So you peer out into the courtyard of the moat house, and as I said, you see the first rays of dawn beginning to come. You don't see anything else out there. It's still there's the subtle chirping of the birds, and that's all that you see. And so,
can I see the person I tied up from here?
Yeah. So as you look, so Gimbal, you're here. So if you're following, right over here by the wagon is where you left him, right, on the courtyard. And yes, you see he's there, and he's struggling as best he can with his burnt hands against the bonds. He's awake.
Sounds like it hurts. So I'll check the bodies right there by the building.
I'm sorry, you check what?
I believe there's two bodies by the building.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, the two guards that Lilith killed.
Okay. Yeah, so you move here. I don't know if you can see them on the... Yeah, you can see them barely on the cam. I'll bring the other cam up here in a second. But you have two bodies here. You begin searching them. You're searching the bodies inside. Now we go back to Lilith and Brim. So you see the chest open up. And as I described, there's several contents inside the chest. What do you do?
Did the music change? Oh, it comes to us and then it's like dramatic music change.
I just like making players nervous with sounds.
Now would probably be a good time to stick his hand in there just to make sure.
Okay.
And I try and pick whichever hand is less bloodied. and just stick it into the chest.
You stick the hand in the chest, nothing happens.
He like slaps the chest a bit on the sides.
Nothing happens.
I start hitting himself with his own. And
Brim continues to just sort of play with the dead body in his hands. He's Ashrin is now with Uthar, and the two of them are just waiting patiently, helping Krista and Tisa, her daughter, as she is slowly coming conscious and sliding off the table and trying to stand on her own 2 feet. Inside, sorry, go ahead.
I said, what did you see in the head that you saw in the chest? What did I see in the chest?
All right,
again?
so as you look in the chest, you see there is a pile of copper in the bottom. There's a sack that looks pretty sizable, a leather sack. You see 2 bottles that look like liquor of some kind. You see, as you kind of look through it, you see a ring laying on the bottom. And then you also see a scroll of some kind. Looks like it's a bound scroll. And then you see also a map.
Oh. Lilith does not seem very interested in any of the gold or the alcohol. She does look at the map, and she'll reach in and grab it.
I love how paranoid my players are already. This is great. You reach in, nothing happens. You pull the scroll out. Is it or the map? You said
Map.
The map.
the map. All right.
Map.
You pull the map out, and what you see is actually quite crude. It looks like it's drawn, and it's more crude than what I'm going to show you on the screen here. But I'm sorry, what are you laughing about, Josh? Oh, no, not crude like that. No. It could be. Sperry 14 has a good point. It could be milk-based liquor, Brim. You never know. All right. So as you look at the map and you unfold it, you see it is as I said, a really crude map. What I'm showing you here is even much nicer than what you see. And as you look at it for a moment, and if you can look at your screens, I'll give you a little more detail. You see, it just takes you a few seconds, even with basic knowledge of this area, that this is a crude representation of the moat house here at the top, this sort of broken, ruined structure. This distance, it doesn't look like it's correctly interpreted, but this would pretty clearly be Hamlet. And then judging by what you see here, including the sword, can you guess what this is?
The bandit camp that we encountered.
This is right where you were attacked, headed toward the village of Kron. So this was the village of Kron. So you're actually, as you're looking at this, you're realizing what you're looking at is a map which shows Hamlet and Kron. It shows the ambush point. But then down here to the below on the map, you see in the Kron Hills and even toward the south part of the Lortmill Mountains, there's something labeled Filthy Dwarves. And then there is clearly a broad orcish ruin of a structure drawn in the mountains somewhere to the east of the Filthy Dwarves on this map.
Lilith will just roll it up and kind of put it in her waistband. She'll grab the other scroll cautiously.
Okay. You pull the other scroll out.
Okay, nothing happened?
Nope, nothing happened.
Okay. As long as nothing is happening, she'll continue to take stuff out. You said there was a ring, correct?
Correct. There is a ring, a gold ring.
Scroll.
And let's go to Brim. Brim's wanting to say something?
Lilith, if needs be, we can leave everything in the chest, and I can just carry it with us.
Do we need the chains to open it again, though?
Probably. The chest could probably be worth a fair coin as well, for it being safe.
I mean, Millie would probably enjoy it. Or you?
No, I'll Millie.
Okay. Is it heavy? Can you lift it?
Are you serious?
You just passed me the chains.
I lift up the chest, or I try to.
All right. Yeah, so you reach over, you lift, and look, for any other PC, this is a no-go. For Brim, yeah, you put your arms around it. Lilith, you see this chest is heavy. You see sinew ripple on his back and arms. And he as he lifts it up, Brim, as you're looking in, you see things shift, and where some of the coins and bottles were, there's a pendant laying at the bottom.
Ooh. Oh, is it open and you're looking at it?
Yeah, so the chest is still open. Like
Okay.
no one
Yeah,
said
he
they closed it. The chest, he lifted up the chest.
Okay.
And
What does it look like?
as you look at it, you see it's a silver chain, a slender silver chain, but the pendant has this symbol on it, which I'll show you here. Sorry, I say this symbol and I don't have it up.
Oh yeah, that's simple.
You see,
Symbol.
you see a pair of chains on a shield, a hand holding a dagger down, and lightning arcing across the top of the pendant. It looks like some sort of enamel, quite finely made.
If I can see it, I don't know. I guess how high you're lifting it.
No,
but
you
if I
just
can-
you just hear Brim go like, "What's that?"
Okay. While he's doing that, I'll pick up the chains that he. Are the chains still on the floor?
Yeah,
in the
so they fell off on the floor as soon
Okay,
as the
I'll
chest
pick
was
them up
open.
and kind of throw them over my shoulder.
Okay, all right. You grab the chains. They're a little heavy for you, but not too bad. So go ahead and put the 2 chains in your inventory. Sorry. All right, Brim. What are you doing with this chest?
Dang it. With the sound of the chains being picked up, kind of startles him, and he's got to steady himself against the wall with like the chest to kind of stay upright with it. But if it's not too much of a problem, he's going to try and lift it up to his shoulder and hold it there if that's possible.
Yeah, so it's not so large that you can't do that. You lift it up again. Your wounds, you start to feel a bit lightheaded, but you do manage to get it on your shoulder. Uthar says, "We have wasted enough time here. We should be out of this place. We must return this poor lady and her child to their rightful husband."
I agree. Let's go. What's wrong, Brim?
Nothing. And he's just going to kind of push past Uthar.
All right, we go back up to Gimbal. Gimbal, you are upstairs now, and you have moved out to the wagon where the man is still tied up. As you get over to him...
Did I find anything on the bodies?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I forgot to see. On the bodies, you find, combined on the 2 bodies you searched, there are 4 pieces of gold. There are 18 pieces of silver. There are 29 pieces of copper. You find 2 long swords. You find 2 cloaks of red. They're all wearing red cloaks. And then you also find the shields and studded leather armor, very similar to what you saw down below. On one of them, you see he has a locket in his pocket. Bars.
I will definitely take that.
All right.
And on the 2 that I searched for
Okay,
trinkets.
on the 2 you searched. Hold on.
And I'm looking for trinkets for Lilith, because I will do that from now on, because she likes to bring me money.
On the 2 you searched, you find that there are a total of 8 gold pieces.
Okay.
There are 42 pieces of silver. One of them has a thicker pouch than you've seen on the others. There are 112 pieces of copper, most of them 82 in one of those 2 pouches. You find the same standard sorts of armor and equipment that I referenced, but you don't find anything as interesting as the locket that Gimbal found.
Well,
All right, so as you search the bodies, all right, Gimbal, as you run over. Sorry, I've got this. This really ruins the immersion. I've got my cell phone. I've got my notes. Hang on, let's go. Gimbal, as you run over to the man, You come up, he's laying on the ground. No, please don't burn me again. Don't burn me anymore.
Can I hear the shouting from?
Yeah, absolutely. It reverberates through the courtyard. Easy to hear.
I'm gonna head out then as soon as I grab the last of the coin and see what is happening between Gimbal and the fellow that's.
He'll just squat down next to him. I don't know how much of a squat that is, but he'll just squat down next to him.
Okay.
He wants to get face to face, basically.
All right. So you lean down right into his face. You see his eyes wide with fright. And I'm going to cut here to this cam so you can see it a little bit better. His eyes are wide with fright as you get close to him, and he continues to tremble. No more of your necromancy!
Deal. What?
The killer gnome speaks.
What's your name?
My name? Why? You're not going to hunt my family, are you? I'm just a simple man. I was promised coin. I had no idea what I was getting into.
I would recommend that you be a little bit quieter before the people with me hear you too much. So let's kind of, do this and think about these questions.
And Millie's just kind of standing behind, not saying anything, but just kind of waving at him like, hello again.
Yeah, Millie,
you
you come up behind Millie again. You see the horses in the stable that I referenced last time. They have now returned back to normal. They were quite nervous last time. Now they're sort of gnawing at the hay. A couple of oxen in the stables. The wagon again full of tobacco, which clearly came from the Keelandish tobacco that was seized from Gareth. And you see Gimbal right here leaning over this terribly frightened.
She's just standing with her coat slightly open with one hand resting on the hilt of her rapier, just kind of standing there like watching what's transpiring, ready to do anything that might need to be done if he tries anything against Gimbal.
And at this point, Gimbal is too focused on him. He's not even. He figures he's in a safe place, that we've done what we did, so he's not paying attention to his surroundings, so he doesn't know she's behind him.
Okay. The guard, he gets, I'll be quiet. Will you please let me go? I won't do any more. I'll just go home to my family, please.
Well, we'll see about that. How about that? So, your name?
My name is Jace. Jace Sean. I'm a simple man. My pa was a farmer. I just wanted to make a little more coin. I got tired of seeing him struggle day by day. I never knew what I was getting into here. I'm sorry. I'm being too loud, aren't I? I'll be quiet. Please.
A little bit.
Don't burn me, please.
Yeah. So, who's the mage, by the way? What is his name?
Oh, him. He's a nasty one. We never heard his name. But he's not as scary as the other one that would come.
When he mentions scary, he's going to interrupt him. He's going to place his hand on his forehead and roll it up into any hair that he has to clasp the hair.
Okay.
Bring his head next to his head and go, do you like the sounds of ghosts roaming your nighttime memories?
You see he starts to soil his breeches.
Who is the mage?
I never heard his name. I only knew that he was sent by the mistress. Did her bidding, her lackey, but he was powerful. He had killed Jay, the assassin Zale, who went to Homnet. He killed him. He was that powerful. But I never heard his name. I promise. I never heard his name. I promise. All right, so Brim and Uthar, the rest of the party, you come walking out now. You see what's going on here as Gimbal is leaning over this terrified man. You can smell the scent of him having soiled his breeches even as you get within several feet.
Lilith will almost kind of like skip up to Millie because she knows Millie will be super excited. She'll stop for a brief second to kind of see what's going on and to kind of like look, but then like looks like he's got it handled.
And I'll just kind of turn to everyone else because I know that Gimbal hasn't noticed me yet, or I believe he hasn't noticed, and I'll just kind of put my finger to my lips and kind of let him take this.
So you see this as Millie turns around and she's apparently wanting to let Gimbal concentrate. Gimbal?
Jace, and he'll loosen up his hands and kind of give him some positive feeling by not being so intimidating, or hopefully intimidating. And he'll go, I see. Mistress, mage, assassin, you.
I'm just a simple man.
Tell me, Jace. Simple men have open ears, and open ears hear many things. Who is it that's working both sides of the fence? Who in your crew is working with with Rufus and Byrne?
Working with no Rufus and Byrne. No, they're the men of Hamlet. No. Mm-hmm. But I did hear. There's an orc. Everyone fears him. I did hear things. I'll tell you. Will you let me go if I tell you?
I'll think about it. Right now, I'm not thinking about it, so you'll get that.
Okay, I'm gonna need to have you make an intimidation check, please.
Y'all thought Brim was scary.
Yeah. The gnome is clearly the enforcer of this party. No doubt about it.
Mafia boss.
And that Tawny.
Intimidation.
I like you.
I don't want to break your legs.
I don't
16.
16. Okay. Yeah. So he looks back at you and he says, "Oh, all right. They talk of an orc. He's got a fortress in the hills. Gajal, something like that. I heard his name several times. They say he's monstrous. He's in league with the mistress, and they're launching some sort of attacks. There's a big plan, but not such as they share with the likes of me. But I listen. Like you said, I listen. I heard these things."
Mm-hmm. And he'll just.
Will you let me go now, please? I promise. I'll just go be a farmer like my pa. I won't do this anymore.
So, here's the deal.
All of
He
you are
looks
hearing this,
around-
by the way. Everybody's hearing this. So you can choose to be silent if you wish to. That's fine for role play, but don't feel like you have to. You're all watching this unfold. Go ahead, Gibble.
Mm-hmm.
He'll look around as if he's looking to see if anyone's watching him, and he'll obviously see the group of people behind him. And he'll... Well, here's the deal. You see the big one behind me?
Yeah, his eyes go wide. He nods.
And he will... Millie, can I see your dagger real quick?
Of course, darling. And she pulls it from the holster on her leg and hands it to him.
Such a fine dagger. And he'll grab the guy's... Does he have hair? Like longer hair? Like medium hair?
Yeah, it's like a medium crop hair, just a little bit below the ears. Yeah.
You've seen the power of your mage. And he'll grab a lock of it and cut it. And then hand the dagger back.
And I take it and put it back.
Now imagine what I can do. You'll never be hidden from me. Or what you do. So if the big one says you can go, just know that I'm watching you. And you better do good and serve the people that you've hurt. But it's his call, and he'll walk off.
Ooh. Okay, all right, so...
So good.
Mic drop.
I feel like we need some of that gangster music just for Gimbal.
Yeah.
That's not for the creatures, that's for Gimbal. All right, Gimbal, as you say this, he looks up. I promise I won't. Don't do anything unnatural in my hair. But could you heal my hands before you let me go, please?
Gimble's already gone, isn't he?
As Gimble's walking away, he's saying this.
Yeah, I turned my back on him. And I left it up to Brim, basically. Whether he knows it or not, I said it's up to the big one.
Brim, what do you do?
I'm looking at the one on the ground. I turn around to the group.
Let's get the let's get the cart loaded up. Get horses attached. Get ready to get out of here.
And I put the chest on the cart, throwing it back and trying to push it to the back of the cart so it's not in the way.
Grab any equipment we want to take with us.
Thunk! You slam the chest into the back of the cart.
We're all done with that.
Are you going to let me go, please? Please?
Once we're done loading the cart. Oh.
He gets very quiet. He gets very quiet. All right, so is this what you guys do? You begin loading up the cart?
Yes. Lilith will come up to Millie with the chains over her shoulder and kind of like just let this hop skipping away, even though they're all intimidating. She kind of like never minds the boys. I have something for you.
Did you bring me a surprise, darling?
Yes, I did.
Did you? Oh, beautiful. Did you figure out how the chest worked? Oh, grand. And she just kind of like, grabs Lilith's head between her hands and goes, "You're beautiful and you're my favorite." And she just...
Brim looks crushed. He thought he was your favorite. So you see this exuberant excitement, Lilith, from Millie. She clearly is just very, very happy about this.
She kind of like adjusts the chains on her shoulder. She's like,
"Would you like me to take the chains from you, darling?"
Sure.
Okay.
Like, you're gonna be really happy. She'll pass the chains over.
Yep. And with my +3 strength bonus that I have, I just, they're not as bad for me, probably.
All right, so yeah, you grab those chains. They're much lighter for you. You get the horses hitched up. As I said, there are 4 horses. You can put 2 on the wagon. There are 2 additional horses, very easily to get them all hitched up. As you do so, let me go back to the close cam here. As you do so, hey, thank you very much for the follow, Crimson Ale. We appreciate that. You see also that there's plenty of hay, there are bales. You have searched on the remaining bodies. I'm going to just assume, thank you very much for the follow, AFall 2004. And hey, we're getting ready to go to break. And when we go to break, we're going to launch our giveaway. I'm going to give you the giveaway instructions here in just a second. We're giving away the custom artwork of Frederica Draws. I don't know where else you're going to get that tonight. It is fantastic. I'll show you some of her pics in a second. She's amazing. Get the D&D character artwork of your dreams. Very cool giveaway we're doing tonight. All right, so you get the horses hitched up. You search the rest of the bodies in total. On the rest of them you find, hang on here, I've got another set of notes. You find there are 16 gold pieces. And I'll have
this, Millie.
Yeah, so like Millie, if you want to be the
I can just
keeper of this, you just sort of as you're gathering everything up. This is just a sort of common sense stuff you do as you gather it up.
16 gold,
42 silver, 110 pieces of copper. There is in the wagon. There's basic food supplies, and there are 2 broken open crates of Keelandish tobacco, very fragrant scent.
Now the real question: what are the trinkets?
Yes, we need to know.
I would say let's get rid of the food from the cart. Let's take back the tobacco to the man. Any other armor, weapons, clothing we can sell.
Yeah, there's some over here with the bodies.
Should we give the food to these poor women? They look like they've been starved for days.
A little bit. Too much food will give them food poisoning from not having food for too long.
Krista walks up and she shakes her head. We've not been here that long. I can't eat. This is my husband's cart. We will just take our rest in it if you don't mind. And she pulls her daughter, Tisa, this pretty blonde girl. She's awake now, but you see she just stares into the distance. She's not responding to anything. She's not reacting to anything. She is utterly quiet as she and her mother get in the back of the cart.
Keep moving. Let's load some more stuff up. I'm gonna go back inside. Anyone wants to help me pick up armor, other items?
I can assist you, Brim.
Well, let's go stay with the horses.
Thank you.
Okay.
With the horses, so there's 5 animals. It looks like over there.
There were actually, so you can't. Yeah. So I've done my best representation. There's actually 4 horses and 2 oxen. I only have 3 horses represented on the camera there, but they're actually 4.
Okay, and 2 of them are being used on the wagon?
That's right. So 2 have been pulled up to the front of the wagon.
Lilith, can we set these other ones free? They're just gonna get stuck here.
Yes, it's very much like that.
Uthar says, "What are you talking about? Why would we not ride them?"
Well, okay, the horses, but you're gonna ride the oxen too?
No, the horses, you knave.
Okay, well, hey Lilith, you want to set free the oxen?
Hey, this is what Uthar gets for not being here to play his character.
So mean.
Yeah, I know, right?
Should we bring him back with us? I mean,
Maybe we should leave
Uthar's
one.
kind of got a point. Kind of.
So
We should maybe leave one oxen for Brim, and we can set the other one free.
Yeah, that might be better than a horse.
What are you always riding an ox? I was like, what are you floating?
Okay, all right. So
You might break a horse's back.
yeah, so for sake of momentum and time here, we're going to pause right there. We're going to take our one and only break of the night, and I'm going to kick off the drawing. When we come back, our party will have decided what they're doing with the horses and the oxen. By the way, Pat66, you are dead on, right? But we'll let the party figure that out. And then we're going to start our giveaway. So the giveaway tonight is for the artwork of Frederica Draws. And let me just pull up a couple examples. I know you saw them on the small version of the screen, but nothing can quite do justice as to seeing the larger versions of these. So I'm going to start pulling up a couple images, and as I'm doing so, we're going to open the drawing. So to enter the drawing, you do simply exclamation point and the word drawing, D-R-A-W-I-N-G. That's a sort of a double entendre, right? It's a drawing for a drawing. So you enter the drawing for the drawing. This is Brim, the half-ogre as rendered by the incredible Frederica Draws. And all we did was give her the information, tell her what we wanted to have, and she created that all from scratch. You saw Gimbal if you saw us on Instagram today. We had him featured. Let me just show one more. Let me pull up... well, I can't. I'll pull up Lilith here and Millie. So this is Millie, and this is, where's the full version of Lilith? Right here. Lilith. Incredible drawings. So you can give him any class, any race, any different kinds of equipment, items, armor. Frederica can do it all. And what we'll do is, the winner tonight, I will get all the details from you, and then we'll work it out with Frederica, and we'll have your PC drawn. So you do exclamation point drawing, and we'll talk a little bit more about it after break. We're going to take a quick 5 to 7 minute break, and when we come back, we'll finish Session 5 of Greyhawk Awakening. But by the way, thank you so much for all the follows. We've had another great night tonight. Fantastic viewership. We're so appreciative. Thank you to all the players. You guys are killing it. And by the way, we have one question for you. If you haven't already followed us and you're watching the stream, we want to know, what are you doing? Give us a follow. We would appreciate it, and we'll be right back after the break.
Frozen.
Thank you for the follow, one Rory.
Oh, Rory, is that you?
What?
The original Rory.
I think it's another Rory. We got 2. There's competition.
The first Rory.
Ain't nobody duplicate me.
Man, I really do envision like we just turn into like the helpful but the mob, and Gimbal is just like our face of it all. Like, you know, me, the strong man in the back, silent and just in the full suit, but like the rolled up cuffs and the vest. And he's sitting there in the like the tall chair, but he's so small in it.
Have you guys watched what is that? Zootopia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly what it is. Zootopia, where like it's like the big guys, and then they take you to like the mob boss, and the mob boss is like a tiny little mouse.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
On the night of my daughter's wedding.
No, that's like, it'll be brilliant because like Millie's over here being like the knife flipping girl, like the bombshell, but also just like I could cut up your hoo-ha with like a single flick. And then you've got Lilith, who's like the nice one. This is just like an anime, but like you've got Lilith, who's like the nice one in the group, but you know she could like rain chaos and hellfire around
crack
her
some nuts.
and crack some nuts. And then you've got like the butler slash the only one with a conscience in the group, Bar, with like, oh yes, and then the very front Campbell was just like,
No, I love your version of
get that, dude. If it wasn't freaking John playing him, I have some words for Uthar. But it sucks because like even when Uthar gets back, it's like, do I get annoyed at Uthar for someone else playing? Okay.
Have a good night.
You too. Good night. I'll be right back.
I'm going to step out for just a minute. Don't go anywhere. So who? Lilith the warrior cracker princess. That is scary. Way back.
Oh man, the second half is gonna be interesting. So I'm thinking we kill Uthar, but we do it in a way that what's her butt? What's her name? The healer, Ashwin.
What's her butt? Oh,
What's her
right.
butt?
She's like super obsessed with him.
Yeah,
Hang
we
on, I
make
forgot
sure that she feels like she killed him, so that she feels guilty, so that she stays with us, so we still have a healer. And if she ever tries to get out of the family, Gimbal always
Gimbal will
takes her
rectify
aside.
that. I gotta get water.
Ashwin, baby. Ashwin, come on, it's me, Uncle Gimbal. You know me. You remember that itty bitty little favor that you owed us from, us looking over your little accident with Uthar back in the day? That could come to light, just in case. Oh, okay, you're thinking of staying. Sounds good. Oh yeah, I know it's hot mic.
What did I miss? Hot mic.
Yeah.
What's her butt?
Yeah, what's a butt?
What's a butt? What is a butt?
I mean, mine keeps getting touched, so that's normal.
What's the word that John keeps using about your muscles?
Oh yeah, what is it? Gosh.
I can't help but to touch your butt when it's like glistening. Is that what he said?
Yeah, it's like glistening. I'm like, I don't want my body to be described as glistening. Like sweaty, I'll take. I don't want to be glistening.
Like the rippling.
The rippling of his glistening. The sinew across his shining body.
It's connective tissue.
You literally just
It's
got some oil.
Your tendons and sinews hold everything together, basically. Tendons connect muscle to bone, sinew connects muscle to muscle, if I remember correctly. It's been a few years since I took anatomy and physiology, but I remember those two things were important for the muscular system.
I think we'd make an awesome anime, just saying.
We totally would.
Gosh, I kind of want that artwork now.
What, of your sinew?
No, yes, of my glistening. I want my glistening.
Of your glistening sinew.
I want it to be like modern art, zoom in of his muscles and just the beads of sweat and like, line
Magical
muscles.
girl brimstone.
Oh. Oh gosh. That's another artwork I didn't realize.
You have to pay her extra for it.
It's one set of artwork that's all the mafia style, mafioso and all that, and then the same exact poses in the next piece of artwork, except for it's entirely magical girl.
Hey, Sperry14, we're getting ready to come back live again. So I just saw you said you're going to miss not being able to join in chat in future episodes. Why? What's going on? I didn't see it up earlier. What did he say?
Oh. We're talking about killing Uthar.
All right.
I missed. Oh, yeah.
What's her butt?
Was that what? Was he offended by that? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I'm just teasing. He's been fantastic. So, back to work next Monday. Oh no! Hey, look. They call me Tim. Tim, the mysterious, ever mysterious Tim. Yes, they actually could have taken that advice earlier, but they actually still have that opportunity. There is one left that could still be killed. They actually have a guard that they have captured and tied up with horribly burned hands that they can decide whether or not they're going to let go or not. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what they decide to do with that. All right, so let's come back.
I don't know what I'm going to decide. Oh, gosh.
I'm eating cake for dinner.
Hey, Jorge, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Atris Minis, one of our favorites, longtime sponsor of Blue Box here. And you are still going to see his work, incredible work in future Blue Box episodes. It is worth mentioning the mini that we're currently using for Lilith. If you haven't seen this, and I'll just give him another shout out, he deserves it. This is the incredible work of Atris Minis. The camera doesn't focus too well, but he is amazing. Check him out. And also a shout out to all of our other sponsors, including Dragon Crafting Guild. But of course, the sponsor of the night is the maker of this incredible artwork, our own Frederica Draws. And let me just zoom in, because I think the best part is the attitude that was captured on Millie's face here.
My shower of rose petals.
Yes, the shower of rose petals. Look at the artwork on that coat. She is incredible. So let me just double check, make sure the Nightbot is working, that I'm getting all of your drawing entries. I am. They're all hitting. So we're going to resume play, and this will be an earlier evening for us, because this is Lilith. This is your every other week, right? Yep. So this will be a little earlier finish. We've got less than an hour left in the show, and we're going to be giving that drawing away. You must be present to win. So just type !drawing. If you are a sub, you have a better chance, but everybody has a chance. So no one is excluded. Everyone is in the drawing, automated through Nightbot, but subs have a little advantage on that. So if you want that advantage to get this custom drawing, you can do that as well. Yes, and I know that they know each other. All right, so we come back now. You guys are in the, hey, AFall 2004, good to see you. All right, so you're in the courtyard, and I'll pull up the close cam here. You finished, you actually realized it was easier to tie the oxen. I'm gonna give you just the the delivery of the hint. The oxen clearly can pull this cart, and then that leaves you 4 horses. Pat66 also gave that advice. And you have now 4 horses. You have the 2 oxen tied up to the cart. I'm not going to bother messing with the minis right now, but you have all that set up there. And the the bandit still lies on the ground. He's whimpering. He clearly is afraid to even ask again, but he just looks pleadingly at Brim. Every time Brim walks by with a bale or some sort of thing he's heaving into the back of the wagon, the man looks up wide-eyed at Brim. Occasionally he holds up his hands so you can see how badly burned and blistered they are.
Is everything finally loaded?
Yeah, you got the wagon all loaded up. You got rations, you've got food, you've got tobacco, you've got the chest, you've got the coins, everything that you gathered.
Okay. Brim would like to walk past the cart and look at the 2 women inside. What do they look like?
All right, so again, you see Krista. She is this red-haired, middle-aged but very beautiful woman. She's got a tattered blue dress. She's just cuddling her 9-winter daughter, blonde hair, just gently stroking her hair. The daughter, Tisa, her eyes, they just stare off vacantly.
I go over to the guard and I lift him up by his hair.
Oh, by the hair?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to role play that. you. No, please, no!
Tell me what you see in that card.
He looks over, first you can see, he sees the goods. When his eyes fall on the 2 women, you see, you did not think they could go any wider. It looks like his eyes are about to pop out of his skull. He knows exactly what you're saying. Oh, I had nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do. I don't. No.
And I throw him on the ground.
You always something to do with it. You stand by and watch. You are choosing to do nothing. You have a mother, don't you?
I do. She's a dear mom. She is a kind lass.
Really? How would you like me to come to your village, tear her from her bed, and bring her out here, do the same monstrosities that have happened to these women?
No, I swear, I'm converted, I swear, I'll never do this again, I swear. The gnome, he's got a lock of my hair. God knows what he could do with that. I'll never again.
I pick him up and I hit him against the wall. Not hard enough to really do damage, but even then lifting him up.
If I gave into my blood, if I gave into what you, so many other people see me as, I bite your head off right now!
All right, you see again, you thought he had nothing further to empty. He empties his bowels again. There is urine dripping down his leg onto your feet. He is trembling uncontrollably.
I put him down onto his feet. If he'll support himself and I let go.
He collapses down onto his knees and he just puts his head down. Oh, please, 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 I swear, I swear, I swear.
But I look back at Uthar.
But there is no honor in killing a man that still has chance of life.
Uthar,
I believe more in Zodal, a god of mercy, than I do of one of death.
Uthar steps forward. There is both the judgment of law and the judgment of righteousness, which must be honored. As I look at this man, I see the filth of the earth, soil upon our shoes, and yet he too has an opportunity for redemption. I can make no claim as to what his future comportment will be, but I know to slay him in this manner here would be wrong. I think you judge rightly, Master.
Thank you, Uthar. But even though you call of Hyronius, you speak words of Zodal.
I lift the man up and I tear at the ropes that are on him.
As you grab the ropes, you rip them off. You literally peel skin off of his hands. Remember, all this blistered flesh. I can tell you don't care. I'm just telling you what happens. All this blistered flesh, you literally pull flesh off. You see bits of bone and muscle, tendon, sinew dangling. He starts scrabbling back against the wall. He turns, he looks, and then he sprints, still screaming as he cries out and runs over the wall and vanishes off into the forest.
As he's running off,
not another ghost sounds, please.
No. Gimbal will yell kind of as loud as he can, "Hey, Jace!" Hoping that he'll stop.
He does not stop. He's running full tilt, screaming at the top of his lungs, and not stopping. No way, no how.
That works perfect.
All right. Soon, all is silent, and you just hear the light breeze of the day. The violence around you. It's a stunning juxtaposition to have been through so much violence, the blood, the dead bodies broken, the silent cry of this little girl in the cart, and yet in all of this, the peace of the morning, the sun just barely cresting the horizon, a light wind here in early fall, and everything is again still.
I walk back over to the cart.
Okay, you walk over.
I'm sorry if I startled you at all.
And I will continue to walk.
Let's get going.
All right. Anybody else doing anything else before you leave?
I'm going to, if there's room in the back of the cart, I'm going to get into the back of the cart because I want to check out this chest now that it is in my possession.
Yeah, so there is room in the back of the cart.
Yes.
All right, so describing again the scene, and we leave now the moat house. By the way, Tim, I'm trying not to laugh every time you post it. It's fantastic. Thank you. Our viewers make this so much fun. I appreciate it. I'm trying not to break any of the role play and immersion, but you guys are great. So you've got the two oxen pulling the cart. You have Uthar, Ashrin. They mount up on horses. There's a horse for Lilith, a horse for Millie. Gimbal pops in the back of the wagon as well. There is no room for Brim. None of these horses, nothing here is going to carry Brim. And you begin setting out of the moat house. As you leave the moat house, the clatter of horses' hooves as you cross the bridge leading out of the moat house. And there is both a somberness, a sense of accomplishment, of victory, but also somberness as you leave this area. Millie, as you're looking in the chest, you see a lot of good stuff. You see all kinds of coin. If you would like to count it, I will read it out to you.
Yes, please.
Yes, Ashrin and Uthar are sharing the horse. That's exactly right, Sperry 14. Inside, you all see as you're traveling the clop of the horse's hooves, the chill air of the autumn breeze in the early morning, the occasional sound of birds out in the trees, and also the clink of coins through Millie's hands as she looks through each. You count out. There are 1,255 pieces of copper in this chest. A giant. It's quite impressive that Brim was able to heft this as you count through it. There is also 180 pieces of silver inside the chest and 98 pieces of gold. Quite the haul inside the bottom of this chest.
All right, can I take a look at the bottles of liquor?
You turn them around, and as you look at them, you see it is it's labeled brandy atop with a crest that you recognize from Firandi. So this is a Firandis brandy, and you don't know too much about the brandy, but you can guess this is pretty valuable.
All right, can I uncork one of the bottles and just give it a smell, see how it smells?
You do. It takes you a moment. You all are kind of you're traveling along. Brim, you're farther. You don't smell it from the. She pops open the cork. You sniff it. It is a sweet and potent scent. You feel that sort of gentle watering of the eyes of something that promises a strong elixir.
I want to take a small taste.
Okay, you tip it back as you taste it. It burns gently on the tongue, a sweet taste, and then warms the throat as it goes down. It feels welcoming. In fact, it feels like home to you.
Lovely. I'm gonna cork it back, and I'm gonna stick one of the bottles because you said there were two.
That's right.
Stick one of the bottles in my pouch that I wear on my hip.
All right, and then you also see the gold ring laying at the bottom, discarded by Lilith. Obviously, not of interest to her. And then you also see the pendant that I showed earlier. And I'll bring it back up again in case we have any latecomers to the show that may have missed that. But at the bottom of the chest is this pendant hanging on a silver chain that looks like this. Clop, clop, clop. The horse's hooves, the oxen. You move across the bridge. You're now headed on the road back to Hamlet.
I'm going to lift the pendant from the chest.
Dangles.
Recognizing the chains.
It dangles gently against the silver chain, and yes, there is no doubt. You already sized this up, but I will confirm it for you. These are clearly similar to the chains that Halia wore across her arm way back, and I'm sort of meta here, but session 0, way back at the beginning when you were in the Cron Hills and when you were working with her, and I mentioned these intertwined chains on her arm. It's strikingly similar to what you see on this pendant.
Lilith, did you see this, darling?
Lilith will turn around. No, I just grabbed a scroll and a map. Everything else I left for you.
This is familiar. You think? Seems like whatever Halia was up to, it's related to all of this that we've come across so far. Clearly. So, I think we should hold on to this, see how perhaps if this keeps becoming a thing, it might be something we need to be very wary of.
I agree. Brim?
Yeah?
Was that what you were looking at in the chest?
What?
And I hold it towards you.
Yeah, I saw that and it was odd. Different from the rest.
It looks like the chains that Halia wore. You remember her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really? How long were you behind me when I was outside?
Just a while. I only heard the tail end of your conversation.
Well, I don't know if you heard it, but he was referring to some mistress that was in charge.
Yes.
Do you think that might be her?
Could be. Anybody's best guess, really.
As you move
Gimble.
deeper down the road, sounds of the forest around you. Continue.
Have you ever thought of joining a pirate crew? I think you'd be quite good amongst a group of sailors. I like your style, is what I'm saying, and I think it might be of use.
Millie,
Yes.
are you saying that magic is useful?
I'm saying I like you.
Hmm.
And that's the most I'm going to say right now.
Okay, I'll take it.
But I'm her favorite. To be clear.
Hey, Lilith.
It's okay, Brim. You'll get it next time. Yes.
Do you know what ghost sounds sound like?
No.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Nothing. Thank you for the compliment, Millie.
You're welcome.
No, I don't. You guys are killing me. All right.
No,
so
I don't.
I'm sorry. I try not to disperse, but just the incredible viewers. Thank you. So as you're making your way, again, the horses, you hear the sounds of the forest. This conversation, I think, utterly appropriate. Sorry, go ahead, Gimbal. You want to say something?
Yeah, were there potions or was it just liquor bottles in there?
Just liquor bottles.
Liquor.
But there was a scroll.
I have it. I have the scroll on the map. Can
I
I
don't
look
know
at
that.
it? Can I look at the scroll while we're traveling?
Yeah. So Lilith, as you unroll the scroll, it's a it's a short document on a dark brown parchment, and you see sigils and symbols on it that make your head hurt. You have to turn away.
Grimble, do you want to look at this?
Yes.
She kind of hands. She kind of like hands it over. She'd be like, "So about those ghost noises."
I'll make sure that they never come by you.
Okay. And she'll hand it over.
All right. As you hand the scroll over to him, Gimbal, you see she also has. She also has a map that she's got tucked in. She hands you the scroll. You unfold it, and immediately these symbols resolve into a spell. It is a second level spell, Rope Trick. And clearly something you can discern.
What is it?
Well, I gotta look at it a little bit more. But I can make tricks with ropes.
Is it more use to you? You can keep it.
It might be. I could definitely use it. It looked like you didn't like looking at it, so.
You can keep it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, so he tucks it away.
Yeah, after he puts it away, if he could also pull out the locket that he found.
Okay.
And I don't know if it opens up.
It
or
does.
If you could,
Yep.
okay.
So you pop it open, and you see there's a picture of a woman. Looks like a young woman with raven black hair that falls in tresses down her shoulders.
Not similar to anyone that we've seen. Like it's not.
No, you've never seen this woman. It doesn't look like anyone you've seen.
He'll go ahead and not secretively or anything, but he's just puzzled by it, and he'll tuck it away with his other emblems, his other little trinkets. And just something about Gimbal, since they left the moat house, he has become less and less tense, more open and more free to the group.
No, that's fantastic, Gimbal. And as soon as the rest of the group is done looking at the cawing of the crows and things around them in the forest, so you have seen this. Like Gimbal, there's almost a transformation. Both Gimbal and Brim, substantially different than before you came to the moat house. Brim, more of a sense of depth and purpose, more just sort of a boiling energy of mild rage in him. Gimbal, more of an openness and curiosity, a connection with the rest of the party. And in fact, that curiosity, again, Gimbal, you take a second look, you see that Lilith has that map tucked away in her pouch. Always a question, Dr. Nightmares. I like that. You never know. Like, that's as a DM, so sort of OOC, I've not done too much of this tonight, but OOC, like, I use the sound. Sometimes they're ambient, sometimes they're meaningful. So it's good for players to listen, but you don't. Yeah, it's like traps and chests and doors, and who knows if this one is or isn't.
Like ominous music.
Ominous music.
My hand in the
like
chest.
it is meaningful. So don't dismiss it. But it's also sometimes just ambient.
Lilith,
Yes.
is that another spell?
It's not. It's a map.
Oh.
Not interested?
I mean, I could take a look at it, but sure.
Sure. And she'll hand it over. If there are birds around, she'll try to call them.
Oh yeah, so you're passing through. These are fairly forested lands on the road back to Hamlet. And you're about half a day's travel from getting back. The clop of the oxen hooves and the horses. This is much easier travel than you had getting here, so you'll make better time. You see that Ashrin is occasionally looking over from the back of Uthar's horse at Kristen and Tisa in the back of the wagon, and she says kind things to them occasionally. She actually starts singing a soft song to them, and Tisa, though she does not respond, you see she kind of tilts her ear as though she's listening as you're moving along the road. You look at the map, Brim, and Grimble, you see the same thing I showed earlier. You see this this crude drawing, more crude than I'm showing here, that references what you can clearly see as Hamlet, the moat house that you've come from, the village of Kron, where you were attacked, but then more interestingly, these structures to the south. Particularly, the map really seems, again, it doesn't really show as well as I would like it to here, but this structure, these are orcish symbols clearly indicating some sort of fortress.
And would I be able to connect that, or would it make sense to connect that with what the guy was informing me about? Jace was informing me about? Does that seem like the same thing that he's talking about?
Oh yeah, so it's a 19 on the die, no doubt. I mean, you are confident that you're piecing together something that's going on here, that there is a fortress there deep in the Kron Hills, close to the southern roots of the Lortmill Mountains, where something is happening. This orcish figure referenced in the letter, Gajol, has done, ordained, or created something, and that's clearly reflected on the map. As you're studying this, though, you hear a voice. Hey, friends!
Hearing the voice, he'll roll the map back up and take a quick look around, see if you can find the person or whoever said that, and say, Lilith, if you would keep holding on to this, we should all look at it later.
She'll take it back and put it back in her waistband safely.
So, as you do this, and you see Brim pulls, it's the harmless figure of Federum, the purveyor of the Hamlet Supply and Trade. He's walking along the road. Brim puts it back on his shoulder, and you see he walks up in all his bulbous-nosed, mutton-chopped glory. And as he walks up to you, he says, "So good to see you again. Oh, my friends, I'm glad my supplies have done you in good stead. I see you have been well upon the road." And I sent you a message on Discord, Josh.
Woo.
So you see, if you can look on your screens, you see he walks up. It's clearly him. He's got the mutton chops and the bulbous nose, and he walks up smiling, and he says, he gets a little closer as he's walking up to the caravan. He gives a smile and he says, "I trust you fared well."
I am walking up to him, and because I was walking towards him, I dropped my stuff, kept my maul on my shoulder, and was going up to hug him. from him to your thing you sent me from him?
There's wind, as best you can tell.
Continue walking, and I look back over my shoulder at the group, and I just shake my head a bit. And as
he sees you do this, Federum steps back. Friend, what are you doing? What?
I'm gonna try and grapple him and hold him and.
So you all see this. You see Brim actually, as Federum starts to step away, and he looks fearful. Brim reaches forward with giant thews and tries to grapple him in his hands. Let's go ahead and have you roll. I call it an initiative, I guess. I don't know. Let's call it a D6, and there's a 4 on the DM die.
I would like to. Did I? Oh, crap! I can't remember.
Whose initiative is it?
Oh yeah, initiative.
Yeah, so it's just you doing this, so it's just you.
You.
Oh. Oof, that's a 1.
A 1. You see, he backs away. As he backs away quickly, what are the rest of you doing? You see all this transpire in front of you. It's kind of shocking.
Lilith will jump off her horse.
I'm looking confused, and I look to Brim and I say, "What's going on?"
And he does this aggressively?
Brim went at him pretty aggressively.
Well, Lilith will immediately jump off her horse and run right beside Brim.
Murder room.
Gimbo will stop the cart.
All right, so as you stop the cart, Federum continues to back up. I need everyone to roll a d20 for me, please. Give me your result.
10.
Evan.
16.
18.
All right, Millie and Gimbal. As Federum backs away, you catch something which is startling. You see it looks as though part of his face starts to droop in a strange fashion, and becomes, instead of normal flesh, looks quite pale. He backs away from you. What are you doing, friend Brim?
Murder room, please. One.
All right, so you need to watch your monitors because you're going to get a brief glimpse. All right? As you say this, you hear in the distance the sound of horses and men's feet tromping along the road. Federum's head turns. As his head turns, you see his visage drops, and briefly you see this pallid 6.5, almost 7 foot creature that you see on the screen here. The flesh drops away, and then just as suddenly it's gone, and he turns and he darts into the forest. Roll initiative. That is a 5 on the die for the DM. You lost Brim, so now we're rotating to Gimbal.
That's a 5.
Roll again. That is a 4 on the DM's die.
3.
The creature moves with a strange, blinding speed. Even as your eyes try to follow it, it's hard to focus. It's almost dizzying. There's a blurring. It seems to move and then almost vanish as it turns sideways and darts into the trees. Gone. You hear soldiers calling down the road, "Ho there!"
What was that?
Brim?
What kind of horror was that? I've never seen anything like that in my entire life.
Ho there! As you're talking, you see several soldiers, clearly the source of whatever caused this creature to flee. It looks like there are about 20 men on the road. About half of them are mounted, half of them are walking. They look like battle-hardened, well-bitten soldiers. There's a man at the front who has a longbow over his shoulder and dark hair. He's got a sword at his hip. They kind of stop short of you.
Who are you with?
He kind of looks over at you. Well met on this road, but who are you?
I pull out the medallion that we were given by Galen, and I show him, we are in business of Rufus and Byrne from Homlet.
Oh, all right then. Well, I am Captain Romerian Temain. I am from Norwell. I lead here the headhunters of Norwell. We are in search of a violent criminal. Have you seen? He would be a man, swarthy, black hair, dark skin, goes by the name Yaj Tox. Often impersonates a member of the Order of Ulek.
We saw no one by that description.
You see,
just encountered a very strange sight, however.
his shoulders kind of slump. You're sure? He has stolen very important documents from the Baron. I will find this criminal if I must search for him to the ends of the earth.
Question, DM.
Go ahead.
Does the description they give look like the person in the locket?
No. So the person in the locket is an attractive woman. What they have just described is a swarthy, black-haired man who impersonates a member of the Order of Ulek. What? You all seem shaken. He looks over and he sees Kristen and Tisa in the back of the wagon. Is everything all right?
We've had a bit of a rough encounter. The moat house has been overrun.
The old Homlet moat house. That's been abandoned for decades.
Well, somebody got it in their head that was a good place to hide, and apparently it was working well for them until we came along.
You don't say. And did
Yes.
you saw no one like what I describe?
Not that I remember.
Then let's turn back on the road. Let's head to Verbabonk. We'll search for him there. Go ahead, Gimbal.
As Gimbal is just sitting there in the position, in the seat or whatever, where he had stopped the oxen from moving, just observing this, thinking about, okay, yep, it's not the lady in the locket, and thinking about this weird thing that they just saw. You said your name is Captain
Romerian.
Captain Romerian. Could you come a little bit closer? It's hard for me to see you.
He kind of gives you a quizzical look, but he kind of smirks over his shoulder at some of his men. He steps forward, or he steps his horse forward. Two other men on horses come forward with him, and you see a man that looks like this. He's got, heavy armor on. He's got a longbow over one shoulder, a sword. You see some scarring on his face. This is clearly a man accompanied, well accomplished in battle, and he looks at you. Do you get a good enough look now, Gnome?
Yes. Sorry, my eyes are just.
Your kind
right
often
now.
wear spectacles. I've seen them. Perhaps you should consider some.
That's a really good idea. Oh my goodness, thank you. There was something. Do I notice any emblems on them?
Yes, so on them you do see emblems. These emblems, hang on here, let me switch back to this other view real quick. These emblems look like a shield that is sort of a pale bluish color with stripes, and in fact, I'll pull it up here just so you can see clearly, because I'll give you just the benefit of a knowledge geography on this. This would not be difficult to discern for you. It is the shield of Narwhal, which looks like this pale blue and white shield you see here. If you should see this Yaj talks, he is dangerous, quite deceptive. He will play you for the fool if you allow him.
I see.
Will you be in Hamlet?
Yeah, we kind of are in the area. I just saw this. We just saw something head off into the woods, into the trees. I don't know if it's what you're looking for. It was a little weird, really weird. Do you have an extra emblem?
He laughs at you. We do not give out the emblems of our order lightly. You are not one of the headhunters of Narwhal, nor will you wear our emblem. But what do you speak of an oddity? He looks at all of you.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. It like looked like one thing, and then it looked like something completely different. It was bold and tall and scary, and not something I ever want to see again. Are you sure you don't have? I don't want to. I mean, I'm not going to try to flaunt it or anything. But if you got it, how am I going to find you again?
He looks around at the rest of you as though for corroboration. As he does so, he says, Master Gnome, I again would strongly advise improved vision. Spectacles could do wonders. I think you are seeing things, sir.
Maybe.
It smelled of death.
I still keep my head bowed and with the hood up.
And I can attest to what the gnome saw. His eyes are not poor. It was strange, bold, horrifying.
It came to us looking like a friend.
Okay.
Indeed.
Shape change.
All right, hang on here. He shakes his head. I have no idea what you speak of. I have not seen such a creature, and this is not the creature that I seek. What I seek is a man, common, at best common, and somewhat duplicitous and dishonest man. Not a creature that turns colors and skins. I wish you best of luck. And to your question, Master Gnome, it is not you that will need to seek me. When we have headed to Verbabonk, we will come back through this way. If you're in Hamlet, we'll find you.
Hamlet. Okay.
All right, men, enough time wasted. They turn their horses around, and they start to clop off back the way they came, which you do recall, heading toward the moat house was sort of a northeasterly road, and you know the geography well enough to know that Verbabonk would sort of be a northwesterly road from Hamlet, so he's clearly doubling back based on what you've told him.
Lilith will go up to Brim. Brim?
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Let's get these women home.
Yes.
And she'll kind of like firmly squeeze his arm, like his forearm, and then she'll hop on the horse and we'll lead back.
How were you able to see so easily through his deception?
It's the smell.
Oh.
It smelled different than Federum. Smelled like death. A sickly, sweet, necrotic smell.
There are too many things that should be in the ground walking around as of late. And I don't like that one little bit.
Let's get these ladies back as soon as possible.
Yes, I think we should continue on.
All right. So as you there's some I love Sperry 14. Perhaps you should consider not throwing shade at Don Gimble One, Captain. To gnome or not to gnome is the question. All right. So you head into Hamlet. You see no further sign, but there is still a sense of unease. This creature that you caught a glimpse of, and to any of our viewers that did not catch a glimpse, I'm sorry, you missed a cool thing. But you caught a glimpse of this creature. It stirs you to your soul. There was something beyond unnatural to this creature. Go ahead.
I was going to say, as soon as kind of we started back off, Millie would have pulled the bottle from her sack and just take a really long drink from the bottle and corked it back and put it away.
All right, so Millie, you take a strong draw. This sweet Friandish brandy, it burns and then warms and embraces you as you draw from it, and you do feel it begins to calm your nerves. As you're riding back toward Hamlet, is anyone else doing anything differently?
I'll also just ride, but she'll keep looking back at Brim to make sure he's okay.
All right. So good?
No, sorry, I was just going to say, when we get back to town and get everything situated, I would just like to talk with the merchant, and that might be next episode, but still.
Sure, yeah, so that would be. But as you come back to town, you are, even as you head in, you see Commander Galen. He comes up to you. He's got 5 men beside him, all wearing the blazoning staff and sword of Rufus and Byrne. You have returned! You're alive!
This is Galen, you said?
Yes, this is Galen. As he comes up to you, he sees Kristen and Tisa on the back of the wagon. Oh, by the gods! Thank you! The husband here waits. He's been provided lodging in the Welcome Wench. He's prayed night and day.
The moat house has been cleared out. There's none of them left there. We did what you asked.
You cleared the Red Lords from the moat house by yourselves. Are you certain?
Yes, there was not a single one left in there when we left.
Gimbo will take. So from the 4 bodies, at least he would have taken those 4 red cloaks. He'll take 2 of them and toss them down. We got him.
As he sees the cloaks hit the ground, he looks at Tisa and Krista in the wagon. He can see the leaves of tobacco poking out the side. He sees the blood. Brim looks like he's barely conscious, just deeply wounded, cuts scoring, new scars on his body. Uthar's head hung. He looks at you and he says, by the gods, you have done more than we could have hoped, and I shall see you are justly rewarded as I have promised. And we will end there for tonight. So, congratulations, party. Well done all. Thank you. Hey, look, not everything ends on a near-death cliffhanger here on Blue Box. We do like rewarding the party, and there is a nice time for resolution. You guys, I want to say this. We're about to do our giveaway of the incredible Frederica Draws artwork. So if you have not entered yet, viewers, you do not want to leave right now. You're going to type !drawing. And by the way, Lilith, Vivi, you can leave anytime you need to. I know you've got to get off to work.
Okay. Yep.
But if you enter !drawing, you will be entered into the drawing to get a free character portrait. And I say character, but it could be really any sort of a humanoid figure. That's really what she specializes in, from the incredible Frederica Draws. And we're going to give that away in just a second. So !drawing. Before we get to that, I just want to say we're going to do a quick behind the scenes fireside chat. I want to let's see if the players have any questions on what happened tonight. I'm not going to tell you anything too much, but I'm really curious. There were so many pivotal moments and interesting things that happened. This was a fascinating session. So I want to let the players and or the viewers ask any questions while we give people time to do !drawing.
The damn crows.
Just traumatized.
Perfect timing.
You guys, you do look like a traumatized party. I love that.
Honestly.
And look, that is like the music, the effects, all of it. There are times where there are clues, so I never want you to dismiss those. There are times where it's just ambience, and that's part of the fun of being a player in this campaign is figuring out. You'll get DM clues, you'll get lighting clues, you'll get sound clues, you'll get all kinds of different things. Well done figuring out the chest. I thought that was kind of a cool thing, and I love the way each of you play your characters. Some so unconcerned with coin, others so deeply concerned with coin. Bryn, the way you just absolutely you look toward those who are in plight and those who are struggling and the weak, and constantly have this vigilant attitude. Absolutely fantastic. Gimbal, you were the Don tonight. So many people commenting in the chat going, holy smokes, we didn't know the Godfather was playing in this campaign. This is the most frightening gnome I think ever played. Well, I don't know, maybe somebody's played, but it was fantastic. Any other questions from the players, for just so I like our viewers to be able to hear?
I don't think so.
Oh, where did you come up with the idea for the chest?
Oh, good questions. All right, so we're going like truly OOC, and we'll just do this for a second before the drawing. But so I literally puzzled over that, no pun intended. I wanted something down here when I was planning out this area of the moat house that wasn't your typical chest. That wasn't, but I didn't want something wonky that made no sense, like a magic mouth or, some I researched, I looked at things over the past few weeks. I didn't like anything I saw. Where did I get it? I was in the shower this morning, and all my best ideas come in the shower for whatever reason. And I thought, oh, this makes sense. Tie it to this, to this, to this. Now it all works together. And that's, if you watch my Lore Masters Arcanum on Wednesday night, that's a big thing for me about dungeons. I want cohesion. I want things to make sense. So I don't want to remove the veil of the mystery and all that, but I think that's such a good question. I'll go ahead and answer it. It really just was a brief moment of petty inspiration that I thought would be fun for cohesion in the game. All right. Any other questions before we do our drawing?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So, look, I've seen a lot of people that have been commenting. I don't think are followers yet. So I won't put all my players through the subjection of asking the question one more time, but I'm going to ask you, if you have not followed us yet, please give us a follow. We've got a goal. We want to get to 500 by the end of July. By the way, players, I don't think you all know this. We are, hey, thank you so much for the follow, Luth Captain B.
Hey.
The shower muse. The shower is my best muse, Tim. I don't know why. It's something about, I get all my best ideas in the shower. And hopefully others, I'm not trying to be weird, it's real. And I don't shower with milk. Brim. I don't shower with brandy. Millie, it's just a regular old shower. But the growth of this channel has been incredible. So if you check us out, we are in the top 50 now of the fastest growing D&D channels on all of Twitch, which I know that sounds like what, but there's a lot. We gathered over 102 followers in the last 30 days, and we have gathered a lot more tonight. So I am so thankful to the entire Greyhawk community. Thank you to you folks. It's the beard. The beard clearly is drawing the followers. So if you stop doing that, that's weird, Josh. But thank you to all the followers. Thank you to all the subs and viewers. And so if you are, thank you so much, Hagar. I think we do have some of the best role players in the game. I'm so proud of this group. Okay, all right. So I've stalled enough. I'm going to go ahead and kick off the giveaway. As I get ready to kick off the giveaway, we have one other thing to do with this, which is stream MVP. We give away XP, which, by the way, I owe you guys XP. You're thinking I don't even give XP anymore, aren't you? I owe you guys XP, but I'm going to give an extra 250. And so we've had Gimbal and Millie the last 2 weeks that won stream MVP. And so I want each of the players, got to keep this quick because I want to do the giveaway, 20 seconds.
I'm going to start the poll for it right now while we do our spiel, and everyone can vote in the poll.
Okay, good. And I have the giveaway poll ready to go too. So you do the poll. Tell everybody how to do it.
Right there, you'll see a little box pop up at the top that says, "Who is Stream MVP?" And you can vote right in there.
Nice. That's a lot easier than counting.
Yes, now we don't have to try to count.
Yay!
All right, so let's go through. Let's start with Brim. Brim, why should you be Stream MVP tonight?
I think I should be Stream MVP because I really tried to contain my bloodthirstiness and gave in to the mercy.
That's true. You did. You gave mercy, although you did strip the flesh off his hands. There was bone and sinew dangling at the end, so he's crippled for life. But yes, you gave mercy. All right, let's go to Gimbal. Why should you be Stream MVP?
I should definitely be Stream MVP because, I followed through with my plans. I pulled him in. Well, Millie pulled him in. I went to, I dropped the mic. I made sure that he understood what he was doing. I made sure he understood what I was doing. I made sure he understood he didn't understand what I was doing. And I got critical information from him.
You did.
Killing him.
You did. No, I did not know that was a song by 2 Chainz. There's a song from 2 Chainz. I know some of his stuff, Hagar, but I did not know he had a song called Mercy. That's hilarious. Really in keeping with tonight's episode. All right, let's go to Lilith. Lilith, why should you be Stream MVP?
For healing, casting virtue on Brim's bum. Asking if the snake was friendly. Opening up a very mysterious and ominous chest. And I think that's about it.
Glenn Moran.
Oh, and getting all the goals for Millie.
You did. You presented it to her gladly. I like Glenn Morangi 14. If you don't vote for Gimbal, you're her ghosts.
If not Stream MVP, I'm at least Millie's MVP.
Oh, you are Millie's MVP. There is no doubt. All right, and then last but not least, Millie, go ahead and tell us why you should be Stream MVP, and then tell everybody again how they can vote. I'm seeing some want to make sure they're doing it right in the channel.
All right, well, hello, darlings. I should be MVP because my roleplay was pretty good tonight, I think, especially between myself and Gimbal and myself and Lilith, and she follows her logic. Coin, that is the easiest to get and the fastest to get, she will take it.
That was fantastic. All right, so how do they vote now?
So yeah, there's a little box at the top of your chat box you should see that says,
"Oh, that is so cool. I love that."
And you can click to vote in the box. So click up there, and you can vote for your
That
choice.
is fantastic. We are getting official here, getting better and better every week. Look, I promised that to all the players. Every week, we're going to get better with our sessions, better with our audio, better with our visual. All of our viewers, we're going to improve everything we're doing for you guys. We are so appreciative. Also, all the giveaways. We got a couple that were late getting out this week. Everybody will get their giveaways next week. They're all going out. Gimbal, you had something to say?
Yep, just a real quick note from the stuff that I'm putting together, John, is our 200th roll of the game was Millie's perception to find Gimbal outside the moat house.
If you missed that earlier, type art. I'm going to do the. So it looks like this is. It's close, and everybody can see, right? The MVP voting now, like I can. That's fantastic. I love it. So it's
awesome.
It's close.
And you can run the giveaway, and it'll keep ticking down until the timer runs out. They won't conflict with each other.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and run the giveaway. We'll give the timer more time. The winner of the Frederica Draws incredible illustration is dun da 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 Radoculus 17. Now Radoculus 17. My thing is, you must be present to win. I do this every week, so if you're on the stream, you have to give us a hi or a yay or a celebration hand. Give us a big finger. I don't care what it is. Just you have to give us something showing us you're here. That is requisite to be Stream MVP or to win the award.
Come on, ridiculous.
And he's there, or he or she. Congratulations. And that is fantastic. So we're going to get that out. What I need you to do is send me a whisper or follow us on Instagram at BlueBoxRPG, and we'll get the information out to you, and I'll start communicating with you on your giveaway. Now, make sure you have followed us. So if you haven't followed us, give us a follow. And if there's anybody else on the stream today that hasn't yet, please do. We love that. We're trying to grow this channel, and we are so appreciative of all of you. And it looks like, I'm looking at the count, we got just a few seconds left. 3, 2, 1.
And it's
Gimbal! Gimbal
Yes.
is our stream MVP.
Thank you.
Huzzah,
It's all because of
huzzah,
you.
huzzah.
Thank you.
Thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for watching us today. Thank you for participating. You guys are the best. We'll be back next week. Same place, same channel, same time. Greyhawk Awakening. Now, I don't think we have anybody to raid, but let me just check real quick, because I know Will doesn't start yet with Wicked Studios. Wicked Studio. Wicked. No. Nope. Nobody to raid. All right. We're going to let you all guys have a good night. Thank you so much, everybody. And this